President Garcia, you're now in record mode.
Great, thank you. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting for the Board of Public Works for Friday, January 27, 2023. Dr. Campos?
Good morning, everyone. Fernando Campos, Executive Officer, establishing roll calling quorum. We have President Garcia, Vice President Villegas, President Pro Tem Davis, and Commissioner Reyes. President Garcia, you do have a quorum at this time. President Garcia, we do have one caller on the line under general public comment. We have no commentary on under the neighborhood comment section. We do have one speaker card on item number 5 and 7. Again, public comment 5 and 7 are those items for public comment.
Great, thank you very much for that. We'll get to public comment now, Dr. Campos.
Absolutely. Dr. Tom Williams, if you can please unmute your microphone at this time. The Board of Public Works is considering general public comment. You will have 2 minutes to speak under this segment. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Dr. Tom Williams, Citizens Coalition for a Safe Community, and also Sierra Club Transportation Committee. We're quite concerned regarding ADA compliance. I have tried several times to get a hold of somebody to talk to in the Bureau of Engineering and Street Services, but I say nobody wants to discuss the contract requirements for ADA ramps at pedestrian crossings. So I would like to have somebody, elsewise I'm going to do a very large Public Records Act request to find out what the hell is going on, because I have not been able to make good contact with anybody in Bureau of Engineering or LA Streets. So there are a lot of problems, and we don't know whether it's in the contract, in the construction management, or in the completion inspection, because if you look at certain streets, they have real problems with no ramps at intersections and crossings. And so we're quite concerned about this whole failure. In my home district, LA 32 Neighborhood Council area, there are over 50 ramps not completed or not compliant with ADA requirements. So we're quite concerned about the whole issue as to how people in wheelchairs and the elderly cross the streets. That's all.
Thank you, Dr. Williams. President Garcia, that does clear the queue for general public comment, and we can go ahead and close it if you'd like.
Yes, so public comments now officially closed. Thank you very much for our caller this morning. Colleagues, let's move on to the items of first item on today's business, which is the approval of the minutes of Friday, January 13, 2023. Is there a second to my motion to move this item forward and forthwith?
Second.
Thank you, VP Villegas. Dr. Campos, there's a first by me and a second by Vice President Villegas to move the approval of the minutes for Friday, January 13.
Absolutely. But let's start the voting tabulation now. We'll start with you, President Garcia.
Aye.
Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
Thank you. This motion is adopted and carries unanimous.
All right. All right. Well, welcome, everybody. Good morning. We have a full house in here. We have a full house on also through our virtual platform. So thank you, everybody, for being here. Welcome on Friday, the last Friday of today's month. Very special today. We have a very special recognition. Today, this morning, we have Jose Pepe Garcia, Assistant Director of the Bureau of Sanitation, who is officially retiring. And I see him here. Please come up, Mr. Pepe. Want to make sure. Well, Mr. Pepe Garcia, we're going to have you up there for just quite a bit because we have quite a few folks on the queue that want to reach out and to say something. And I just want to say, folks joining us this morning, thank you for being here. Thank you for being in support of our very dear Pepe that is leaving us after 35 years of his time here. And we really are proud of you and very honored to have you here and to have had you here for such a long time. And Pepe, personally, on a personal level, I'm going to miss you. I've developed such a really nice relationship with you, and I admire you for your long-standing and institutional knowledge that you have here. Very proud of you and very proud that you made us proud, the Garcias. So thank you for that. And so with that, let's we have quite a few things coming. Bob, if you can come on up. And the way we're gonna do this is Bob is gonna do our quick intro. Then we have Barbara, the General Manager, Executive Director of LA Sanitation and Environment, Barbara Romero, who will give also some remarks. And then we're gonna go with any folks that are virtually giving some remarks, and anybody here present that wants to give any remarks, please feel free, as soon as the virtual folks are done, to come up and either line up or get yourself organized to start giving some recognition remarks as well. And then lastly, we'll have commissioners give some recognitions. And then Pepe, you are the last one to go, just to make sure we're hanging on to those 5 years here. And then we'll take quick pictures back here. So Paul, I know Paul's here with our photography today, and we'll take quick pictures and give you your very well-deserved recognition and send you on your way, Pepe. We're almost there. You gotta hang on in here. Well, it is a very a nice honor to have you here today. I am going to pass this over to Mr. Bob Potter. Mr. Bob Potter, take it away, sir.
Good morning, commissioners. And like you said, this is a happy and a sad day all at once. I mean, Pepe spent 35 years of his career in sanitation, making this a better place for everybody in Los Angeles. So this it's an honor. Pepe is joined today virtually by his children, Jake, Joshua, and Jennifer, his wife, Annette, and his two brothers, proud sanitation employees, Jaime and Gabriel, are also here in the room to join us for this momentous event. There they are. It's a family tradition of service, and they are all to be commended for their efforts. I would just like to turn it over to our general manager and director, Barbara Romero, for remarks.
Thank you, Bob, for that. And if you guys also want to stand with Pepe, feel free. The legacy continues. I want to make sure. So if we have any outstanding issues with Pepe, we're going to come to you too there. All right, Ms. Executive Director Barbara Romero.
Good morning. And this is my first time doing this. You guys look so cool. The screen looks awesome. Happy New Year to everyone. And Pepe, and everyone that's here. I just want to say this is a special day that we get to honor not only a great public servant, but a great man. Pepe represents the best of what the city of LA represents, the people of LA. He is what what adds color and lifts all of us here at work, but also Pepe is the best kind of responsiveness. Every council office, everyone knows when they wanted something done, they just picked up the phone and called Pepe. And Pepe, I thank you for that, for your responsiveness to not only the people that work within the city of LA, but to the residents of Los Angeles. As Pepe, who has worked for over 3 decades, has we have a lot of people have numerous amounts of accomplishments. But I think what is most special about Pepe is the way he touched people that he worked with and the many lives that he changed through his leadership along the way. But most importantly, I want to thank you, Pepe, for not forgetting where you started. Pepe, as an assistant director, one thing that I know is he has always represented, never forgot, and has helped define who he is that he worked with his hands at the beginning of his career. And as a result of that, it's the best kind of leaders when you use your lived experience to make policies and improve the operations of our department with that in mind. But most importantly, with the empathy and the assertiveness of making sure that people understood how our employees, how hard they work, and how we need to be, supportive of not only of what they do, but why they do what they do, and the realities of our daily lives and the many workers that we have out there on the front lines. So Pepe, I really want to thank you on behalf of sanitation for the love that you have for the department, but also for the workers. So thank you very much. You know, I'm going to miss you. What I'm going to miss you the most is for your old school ways. You just walked over to my office and to say hi sometimes, but more importantly, you would come over to remind me about, you know, to share your insight and your knowledge. And also you would just to brainstorm. You have 10 to 50 ideas on about what programs, what incentives, what policies need to be updated to ensure that we improve not only sanitation for our residents, but for the people that are doing the hard work every day. And lastly, Pepe, like you said, you know, it's been a pleasure to have met you, but more importantly, to work as a partner in these last couple years. And you will, you're not, a lot of the things, like, as you know, we're not going to forget you. And you always have a place, a home here in sanitation, and you can always come back to help us, to share ideas, but more important, to celebrate the life that you created with your family work, your family work, but more importantly, the family that you have, that you're going to be able to spend more time, and they're going to get the benefits of seeing you more often. So I just want to say that I feel really blessed that I had an opportunity to share your insights and your spirit more than anything else. So I'm going to miss that the most, your old school spirit, Pepe. I love you, and cheers to you.
Thank you, Barbara, for very special words. I know we have other folks on the queue. So Dr. Campos, do you want to start letting the other folks be able to speak? Pepe, do you want to come towards there you go. So we can take pictures of you. Look back here, she can take pictures directly of you here.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
And
Fernando
you have
Campos.
your support back there too. You can put it wherever you guys want.
Wherever you want.
Okay, Doctor, we're ready.
Come on.
Yeah, so President Garcia, Fernando Campos, Executive Officer, for those that are joining us through the
Okay.
virtual platform Zoom, at this time, if you can please raise your hand by pressing *9 or click the raise hand icon if you'd like to say a few words to Pepe. Again, this is for members of the that are joining us through the Zoom application at this time. Would be great if you can please raise your hand, and we'll go ahead and call you so that you can say a few words. We do have some family members in the City Hall office or City Hall here. And we will also allow you to say a few words to Pepe, and also acknowledging some of the family members that are here virtual. Jake, Joshua, Jennifer, Annette, Garcia are all on the line as well, Pepe, for you. So we'll open up the lines, and if you can just raise your hand, we'll go ahead and identify those. Perfect. Let's start with Jacob Garcia.
Good morning, everybody. Well, good afternoon, I guess, from my town, because I'm over here in Washington, D.C. This is a pretty big day for all of us, and I'd like to thank the panel and everybody for having us here. I would like to share how much of an impact my dad's work has had throughout my life. So my dad has always said that you could be your biggest enemy, or you could be your biggest fan, sometimes your only fan. So when you finish something, you need to take a step back and say to yourself, damn, I'm good. So over the years, I've seen him excited and proud about what he does. Growing up, he would bring home giant paper maps. He would tape them all together, spread them across the kitchen table so he could physically highlight his routes, tapping into that, you know, the old school stuff that was mentioned. But, you know, our school science projects were never standard, the potato light or the volcano. They were about the environment and recycling. So he would take us to the sorting yards and show us how it's done. The California policy of which I eventually researched for my poli-sci undergrad capstone. And as recently as last year, he came out to visit me in Washington, D.C., and I showed him all the monuments and the White House, the latter of which he responded with, "That's it," because it's a lot smaller than you'd think if you've never seen it. But we had to stop at it. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little bit emotional. We had to stop at an alley so he could see the team cleaning up in the alley, commenting on what they were doing, comparing it to the process in Los Angeles, taking mental notes so we could take it back home. We stood there for a good 15 minutes while he was explaining all of this. And so this has been a huge part of our lives. I would like to thank the panel here again in the spirit of so much appreciation for what this job has given me and our family. Thank you to the LA City Council members. Congratulations to the mayor on her election. Thank you all for doing what you do. But truth be told, if Peps is as good at his job as he is passionate, which I'm sure he is, then you're losing one of your best. So I raised a metaphorical glass to my dad. Congratulations on a successful career, hard earned. But I'm proud of you because, Dad, damn, you're good.
That was beautiful. Go on to the next caller.
Let's
If I
go.
can just comment, my son did several, probably, I want to say 4 tours in Afghanistan. He's now working for NSA. He's a very, just gained his master's from Georgetown. But he's in my household, we toss it around, but he's a good kid.
You have an amazing kid.
Joshua.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's afternoon here. I want to thank the panel for honoring my dad and his successes. And I will start by saying that one of the best qualities of him is he never asked for a whole lot of recognition. But I want to start also by saying congratulations, Dad. You worked tirelessly all these years, and I also want to thank you for everything, for showing us the virtues of hard work, fierce dedication to your craft and your family, and your unwavering belief in yourself that you can accomplish anything that you put your mind towards. Beyond that, I want to say thank you for being willing to be a part for so many hours, knowing that we were provided for, and that we had everything that we could have ever wanted or needed. Maybe it's a little bit misplaced to say that, Pep, you worked tirelessly, because I'm sure that there were times when you were exhausted, but using your words, you had to make it happen, right? Work aside, I admire you because despite how tired you may have been, you never once complained about coming home to us and, when we'd plug your nose because you'd fall asleep too early, or take us to baseball practice or whatever we wanted to do. You never complained. And you were present with us when you were home. And I don't think I could adequately share how thankful I am. I want to share to the panel and everybody there that my dad probably worked too hard sometimes. He was definitely prepared to handle or to take on Y2K and save the world, kind of dating his career a little bit. But that's how he is. He's brave enough to take on the world, bold enough to stand out from the crowd, and unapologetically confident in his ability to make things around him better. As my brother said, he would bring home the giant maps of the city and we would help him route his maps. And one of the other memories that I have is when he was first promoted to supervisor, the four of us, my mom, my brother, and my sister, went to the mall and got him a briefcase because he was that important. He needed a briefcase at this time. We were all so proud of him, and all the while to himself, he proudly and quietly and humbly took on that new responsibility. I hope that I could, in my life, show those qualities to my son, as he's shown me. And he's the type of thinker, or problem solver that is one of a kind. So for instance, when my electric mixer went out, he went to the garage, grabbed the drill, put the beater on the end of the drill, and we made a cake. It might not be conventional, but getting the job done is the only possibility to him. And he will get it done. And very few people can say that they're that savvy. It's strange to see he's retiring because of how passionate he is over his work. I believe that God placed him exactly where he needed to be. And Barbara, I really appreciate that you commented on his empathy and his ability to touch the lives around him, and that's what made it so special. And because of that, the city has some big shoes to fill and an impossibly remarkable example to live up to in that next person that's to take on his work. Dad, as you close the chapter and take a well-deserved retirement, we're excited that you'll be able to spend as much time with us as you possibly can, and you can look back and say, damn, I'm good. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Joshua, for your very kind words. Pepe, you have very admirable kids. It just being proud that they can
So
say
the-
they admire you is already a compliment.
So let me just, as you can tell, I have twin boys. And as twins decided to go to the service together, he too did several tours in Afghanistan. And he too came out of the military, landed a career in Space Force. So, of course, one thing as a parent you want for your kids is to be better educated. They're both very educated. Proud of him too. And he forgot to prop my grandson up, my only grandson, but I think I'll be spending a lot of time with him. I think I'm gonna teach him all those catchphrases, but
He's also a good kid.
he's also a good kid.
Oh. Thank you, Jacob, for your time. And I'm sure your dad's gonna be, really making sure that your son grows up to be just like you guys. So very proud of all of you. Dr. Campos, next one.
Yeah, we'll go with Annette Garcia. Annette, if you can just unmute your microphone. Please go ahead.
Hi, good morning. I'm Peppa's wife. I just want to congratulate, I'm sorry, I'm emotional. Just want to congratulate you, honey, on your many long years and dedication to the city of Los Angeles. And I want to also thank the panel for acknowledging my husband. He's such a wonderful husband and a great father and brother and everything you can imagine. I just want to thank you, babe, for all the hard work and dedication you've done. And getting up so early in the morning, going to work, leaving our house at 3:30 in the morning to get to downtown to do your job. And the kids have already said a lot more than what I can say because I'm too emotional right now. But thank you so much, babe. And I love you for all your hard work. And we will do this together on our retirement. I love you, babe.
Love you too. My wife will benefit the most because for the next, I have to make up 35 years of being away from the house most of the time. So I don't know if I'm going to be a pain in the butt or no, but I believe that a lot of choices we make or I've made sometimes prioritized business over family. But now it's my time to go and try to make up for those decisions. But thank you, babe.
Okay, I love you, babe.
Oh, thank you, Miss Annette. Thank you, Miss Garcia, for your very kind words and making sure that we know how wonderful Pepe is as a husband as well. And so Pepe, you got your second job coming, making up for all
He's
lost.
got- He's gonna have a lot to do. I'll keep him busy.
She has a list for you ready.
The honeydew list. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Garcia. Dr. Campos, next one.
Let's go with Tracy.
Thank you, Fernando. Pepe, it's hard to say goodbye. I really got to know you when you became an AGM in sanitation, and really what I admire so much about you is that really you are the epitome of success moving up through the ranks, as Barbara mentioned, and you came in with such a great management sense, and at the same time we're so connected with all of the Solid Resources staff. I just really admired how you were able to keep that connection and relate to all of the staff, and at the same time manage such a large operations on our collection side. And then when we got into LSD, a whole nother program there that you were able to help get off the ground for sanitation. I personally have enjoyed your personality, such an outgoing, friendly person. I can see how everybody totally relates to you. And just hearing from you about how much you enjoyed going back out to all of the yards, visiting everybody and reminiscing about your 35 years with sanitation. You know, it speaks to how connected you are to the people. And that's really what I'm gonna remember you for. Thank you so much for everything you've done with sanitation. And I know you're going to enjoy retirement. I'm sure there's a lot of things out there on your list to do. So I do want to wish you the best of luck. Thank you again, Pepe. We are definitely going to miss you. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Tracy. I will miss you too.
Thank you, Tracy. Next caller, Dr. Campos.
Let's go with Nicole Burnson.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Pepe. I wish I could see you right now. It's been so nice to hear your wife and your children speak about you. It speaks volumes about the kind of man that you are. I've only had the pleasure of working with you for the last 15 months, but I have to say I have learned so much from you in that time, and I'm so grateful to have been able to work with you on some key initiatives. But what strikes me the most about you as a city servant, as you know, just as a human, is your dedication to the drivers in particular. I mean, if you ask Pepe, he calls himself a trash man, you know, and he really cares very much about the whole person. He can tell you, you know, how different decisions, policy decisions, are going to affect the driver's quality of life and their health. And you know, I think that shows the utmost respect. He's also been able to create programs to enable people to promote from entry-level positions to get to RCTO, and really spend some time to help, you know, people create a promotional track and create generational wealth in their families. And that legacy, I think, will far outlast the 35 years of incredible city service that you've had. I also agree with Barbara about the old school. You know, you being old school, you remind me so much of my dad in some ways, also an old city servant for 24 years. But you know, I just want to say I will definitely be calling you for advice and for some of your historic knowledge about the city. And please don't change your cell phone number. It's been a pleasure working with you, Pepe. Thanks.
Thank you, Nicole. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole. Pepe.
Let's go with Lisa Mowry.
Good morning, everyone. Lisa Mowry, retired CFO from LA San. Pepe was one of my favorite people to work with, and it was because he took the digital camera approach to ideas. He didn't wait until he had a fully formed masterpiece to share with everyone. He was shooting ideas out all the time. And the same way people take hundreds of pictures with a digital camera, and every once in a while you get that masterpiece. So he would always preface it with, I have a harebrained idea, I have a crazy idea. And the look on his face when he would say one, and I would be like, that's great, we can work with that. He really enjoyed when he came up with one that I fully supported and got on board with. Pepe is one of the few people who know how hard it is working in the exec office at LA San. I know just how much energy and time you devoted to that position. And I also know how proudly you would talk to us and relay stories of what your children were up to. And I'm so happy that you get to spend the time with them and give them more time and energy that you've been devoting to LA San. So thank you for everything you did. You made my job easier. And I look forward to us having a retiree lunch together. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. And just so you know that as a CFO, she had to turn me down. That was her job. No. But so I threw 10 so I can maybe get half of one or one, and 50 so I can get maybe two. But that thought process. Thank you, Lisa, for everything. Also being my soundboard while I was up there scratching my head. But thank you so much.
Thank you. Wow. Thank you, Lisa, for being here with us on your retirement. Thank you. Dr. Campos, I think that's the end of the callers via virtual, right?
That is correct. That does clear the queue. Just double checking. Anyone on the Zoom platform, if you would like to say a few words, last chance to raise your hand by pressing *9 or clicking the raise hand icon. President Garcia, that does clear the queue in the virtual platform.
President Garcia.
Yes, sir.
If my daughter's not on, she's in Florida playing USSSA tournament softball. So
Of course, yes. What? Of course.
And just to kind of tap, she works for a school district and she's an IT professional for the school district. Most challenged during COVID when they had to virtually learn. But also I'm proud of her. She's my little monkey.
Thank you very much. Wow. Wow, Pepe, you are very an extraordinary man. You've created such a beautiful family, and we are now going to our callers in person. And I see your brother eagerly wanting to speak. We're gonna go with the brothers, and then anybody else that's here in person that wants to speak, just come up and we'll take it from there.
I'm sure that the retirement, everybody looks forward to retirement, but we came from humble beginnings. My father used to have a business in the city of LA, and we all worked it. And so when he got a job with the city, this became his extended family. I don't know what he's gonna do with himself, to tell you the truth. Yeah, it's bittersweet that he's gonna retire, but I'm sure a lot of people feel that way, but especially him. He's gonna have to figure out something to do.
Thank you. You want to come up, sir?
Hello, I'm Gabriel, Pepe's youngest brother. I've been fortunate enough to have him a phone call away every time. Now, being a new supervisor, he's still gonna be a phone call away whenever I need help. But he's always set an example, and I just hope to live up to it, like I always have. And he's been that person that I look up to. And you deserve this. You've earned it. You've been here that long. Thank you. Congratulations.
Yes.
Thank you so much, brothers. Is there, I think I have Bob and Alex. Are you still here, Alex? You want to come up to the podium?
Good morning, commissioners, executive officer, and city attorney. Alex Halou, Assistant General Manager, Sanitation. It's really my honor and privilege to be here today to say congratulations and best of luck to Pepe, a great friend, an amazing person. But before I start talking about Pepe, if you give me just 1 minute to show Pepe a glimpse what's waiting for him once he leave the work. So can I ask the retirees to stand up, please? Sanitation retirees. Look how good you're gonna look, Pepe. And we didn't always agree with some of our drivers. Dan knows, I mean, I love him to death. He's awesome. The James, Ron, but with the SRMT meeting, labor management team, it used to be always tense. But the love that they have for him and to be here, that tells you what Pepe is. And you really know in life, you're famous when people know you by one name. So I say Drake, everybody knows who Drake is. I say Madonna, everybody knows Madonna. In sanitation in the city, you say Pepe, and they know who Pepe is. I had the privilege of knowing Pepe. I guess he made the supervisor at the time. I was just coming into the sanitation solids program, 1997, 98, something. And when a project needed to be launched about testing some trucks and stuff. And so every time there's a project coming up, they say, go to Pepe. He's a supervisor, he gets it done. He figures a way to make it happen. While other people shy away from taking the plunge and do things, he steps in and he does it. And so we had to test some crazy trucks that wouldn't go up a hill, Baxter Street, and we had a problem with the fuel, something. Pepe was always find a way to get it done. And when in 2007, we wanted to do the organics, again, Pepe name came up, use Pepe. So I sent him with my staff and he showed them the ropes and how to do things. He always was open to teaching, learning, and giving education to people. He always also, at the same time, was open to receiving and not only just giving. And we always were worried about his family, his kids being in Afghanistan. We had prayers because the things they were doing overseas to help us here. So the emotional side of sanitation is beyond what people see about the trucks, the things, the days, the fighting we have, the arguments, but we're like family. And today, one of our family members is moving to something bigger and better. I think, honestly, of you, Pepe, you're gonna be so much happier and you're gonna enjoy this thing, and with your family and friends, we're always gonna be here. And we know when we need something, we have his cell number, but at the end of the day, he needs to enjoy his life. He earned it. And, we love you, we're gonna miss you. I could speak for hours about Pepe's project and the accomplishments, but I'll leave that to Bob. So thank you, Pepe. We love you, man. Take care.
So if I could say something about Alex. So yeah, we were testing trucks and I wasn't finished, and he actually gave me, I threw it out there. I said, if the trucks got too hot, then they could be doing 55 on the freeway and they would slow down to 15. It's a self-protection thing on the truck so they won't blow up. So I said, I'm not done, Alex, I'm not done. I said, how about I go pick up trash in Palm Springs? It's still 120 out there. And he let me. He let me. Room and board, picking up trash in Palm Springs, enjoying the 120 degree, but and I always said this, and let me just say it again, Alex, you were the brains, I was the muscle. When I came to the AD, how many times did I pop my head into your office and say, you didn't warn me about this. You didn't tell me. But anyways, my mentor, my big brother, the one I looked up for direction in the AD spot, because it was an unfamiliar territory. And thank you so much for all your work, all your friendship, our relationship, and our sharing of our moments. Thank you, Alex. I will miss you, but I'm a phone call away.
So I'll just give a short story. I mean, I was a new supervisor coming into the solid side. I came from the wastewater side and I was this new guy and I walked into this new environment, and everything they said about Pepe is true. He was welcoming. He was the first person to greet me. He offered me his phone number and said, if you need anything, call me. And he lived up to that every day. His 35 years have been dedicated to this work, to the employees, and just making this a better place. And with that, I would just like to thank him for everything he did for me personally and everything else.
Very sweet. We're gonna hang
If I
on to
can-
that.
If I can say something, remember, he's the wet side, I'm the solid side. It's taboo that anybody come from any other place to have a management role. But you know, I can say I don't have a degree in any kind of engineering or anything, but I do have, I believe, a PhD in people. And, you know, you were worth the investment, even though it was taboo and contra, you know what, how dare you pick somebody outside the family, you know? But Bob, it's been a great ride. Thank you. I love you, brother.
Thank you so much, Bob. We're gonna go on to commissioners unless I have anybody else that wants to speak before we kind of start closing up. Give me 1 second. Okay, we have one more, we have two. We're gonna go with Janelle and then Dr. Campos, I was just told that Moss also wants to speak. He's virtually. So we'll go with Janelle first because she's here looking fabulous. And then we'll go to you, Moss, no problem.
Can you hear me? I'm Janelle Gardia. I'm Assistant Division Manager for Livability Services Division. I have known Pepe my whole career, and I started as an admin clerk. But one thing today, my most memory would be, I have a vision. That's Pepe. I have a vision. He needs a whiteboard and a marker because he's very visual. So that we have whiteboards everywhere now. I will always remember that, and he's just a phone call away, but he's done many things for me and opened up many doors for women in sanitation and solid resources. So appreciate that. And I'm not going to get emotional. Your kids already made me emotional.
Too late, Janelle.
His kids and my kids are similar, same age, and I have twins.
My
and-
daughter
and then
played ball with her daughter.
Yeah, so in athletic sports, yeah, we mix. I was at Paris, he was at Elsinore, I was at Paris, you know, all of that. So, you know, your kids are great. But in 2015, when Clean Streets team started with the Mayor's Executive Directive 8, was just the beginning, and he took that chance and now built Livability Services Division to where it is today. And a lot of hard work and a lot of sacrifices on the family. I know that because my kids have also been there and and have done that. So I appreciate that. And the last thing with transitioning the bridge classes, we have one of the big divisions with many classifications in it. And our assistant ECI position was created so our maintenance laborers could transition into assistant ECIs and environmental compliance inspectors, but also now they have the ability to transition into refuse collection truck operators. So there's more bridges for our field staff, you know, our boots on the ground. And thank you for that. You know, I love you, Pepe.
So if I could, just a quick comment on Janelle. I mean, just very hardworking, dedicated, and in my 35 years, Janelle's broken the ceiling as far as moving to a superintendent spot and now a manager spot in a male-dominated, you know, labor-intensive frontline force. But congratulations to you, and you deserve every bit of it.
Thank you, Janelle. We'll go with Moss through the virtual platform.
Moss, if you're in the virtual platform, if you can just raise your hand so that we can quickly identify you. Dr. DeJory, if you can hear us, if you can just please raise your hand so that we can quickly identify you. President Garcia, I do not see Moss on the line.
Okay, maybe he'll, come while we're speaking. Go ahead. Come on, Assad.
Good morning, Madam President. Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Assad Al-Najjar with the Bureau of Street Lighting. Today is an exceptional day. It's like my colleague said earlier, sad and happy. We're happy for Pepe. He's leading the way into retirement, paving the way for many of us in this room, probably in a few years. It came as a surprise to me. I thought he's going to hit the 36 or the 37 mark. And this is an opportunity where on behalf of Street Lighting, I would like to thank Pepe and all the crews and all the engineers in sanitation for the support we're getting into street lighting. Without their work, we haven't been able to go and maintain a lot of the sidewalks and all of the repairs. And I worked close with Pepe, I think the past decade. Unfortunately, not all the time, but I learned a lot from him. I learned education, and he is always the go-to person along with the other engineers. And I wish him all the best. And like Nicole said, keep your cell phone number so that we can call you. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, he was on a speed dial every time we found somebody tapping into some line. So thank you
Good.
so
I'm
much.
glad to hear that. And you're right, Assad. It is like Pepe, you're opening the pathway for a lot of, don't get any ideas, anybody else, by the way. Stay where you're at. We need you, all of you. Pepe, you're like the exception of letting you go here. Unless I don't see anybody else coming up to speak on in person or through the virtual platform, I will then move on to our commissioners, see if they want to give any words. I see some folks back there. All right, so Dr. Campos, we don't have anybody else, right? And if Mas logs in or he gets in, we'll make sure he comes in to speak to you.
Mas is on the line.
Okay,
Would you
we're
like
going
to
with
open?
Mas.
We actually have two other individuals that have raised their hand as well.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sorry about that. Master Jury Assistant Director, LA San. You know, these type of retirement parties, of course, are sad because Pepe, I don't know if we're ever going to see each other again. And that, of course, makes me sad. The great thing about these retirement parties, get-togethers, I guess, it's not really a party, but get-togethers is that we get to see the personal side of you. I've worked side by side with you and know your professional abilities, but the personal side, you know, seeing your wife and your kids, your sons, it's really nice, and to hear about your personal life is really nice. One of the things that stands out with you is kind of your down home, blue collar perspective that you brought to the executive team. And I really appreciated that. I'll miss working with you, Pepe. I'm going to keep this short, but most of all, I'll miss my friend. Thank you for sharing your professional life with me and now your personal life. And I will miss you, buddy.
Thank you, Mas. I too will miss you because you put me, and I've told you this, but he put me on my toes. I mean, Mas, I admire him. He's a doctor. He's a brilliant man. But I have my Webster dictionary next to me because some of the words I was like, yeah, okay. What the heck did I okay? Thank you, Mas. You know what? But that's just the way my mind, ticked. Thank you so much. You've been an inspiration to me, even at this age, and I never stopped learning. And you made me not stop learning.
Thank you for that. Now we use our Google, right? We don't use the dictionary. Just saying. Dr. Campos, I think you said we had somebody else on the virtual platform.
Yes, one more caller. Is it Felix Sanchez?
Yes, that's correct. Hey, Pep, but I'll keep it short. We've had several conversations already. I wanted to say congratulations on a very successful career, and I hope that you get to accomplish everything in the next chapter of your life. So I wanted to say thank you once again. And I'll always remember specifically all the disagreements we had because I always learned something from them. So my hat's off to you, my brother. With much love, man. Take care of yourself. Thank you.
Thank you. And to Felix's point, he's not the only one that disagreed with me. I thought way outside the box, but I entertained those disagreements because they really made you think. And they put us at odds, but at the end, they made us better people.
Very nice. Thank you. We have a special guest here, former President Kevin James, who is here to greet you too.
No. How are you? Congratulations. Thank you.
Good morning, honorable commissioners. Thank you for a couple of minutes. It's nice to see everyone this morning. I heard this was happening in my favorite room in the city of Los Angeles, bar none. So I had to stop in for just a minute, Pepe, to say thank you for your incredible service to the city. Of maybe a voice from a little bit of an earlier generation of the Board of Public Works, save one or two that were there back when we started in 2013. And one of the things I remember about you was kind of the early assistance and guidance that you provided us in such a gentle way when, for me, I didn't really know anything. So the other thing that I really appreciate about you, Pepe, is the strange hours. It didn't matter what day of the week, what time of the day or night, but the nature of your work sometimes required that you be responsive to us in those weird times with our sometimes questions that, I don't know, maybe we should have known the answer to, but you're always so patient in dealing with us. So I really appreciate the prompt response. And something else that we always had with you from this seat that I sat in, I could speak for myself there, was when you stepped up here or we were hearing from you from the field, we had complete confidence in the information we were getting, and that's very valuable to us. So, sir, thank you for your service to the city. And just know that from the Board of Public Works and our administration, we love you. Thank you.
You know, it wasn't peaches and cream. First time I was here, he intimidated the heck out of me. And I know the feeling. And Kevin, I don't know if you remember, I said, I'm bringing somebody new. Do you mind taking it easy on him? So, because I knew, James, you were there, right? But anyways, it was an experience that everybody had. It's like the first time of anything, right? First time up here. But Kevin, thank you for your patience, and always after a while we established such a camaraderie and candid and you know fluid relationship. And I want to thank you. You made me standing here telling you so much easier. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Kevin James, I hope you can hang on a little bit till we take the pictures, but we'll be taking it pretty short. Okay. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you for stopping by and making it even more so special for us. All right. Anyone else? Virtual platform or in person? All right. I'm going to go on to commissioners. And then, like I said, Pepe, you're going to take the grand finale here. So we'll start with Commissioner Reyes.
Hi, Pepe. 35 years. That's awesome. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure and privilege to pay tribute to the era of Pepe in the city of LA. I appreciate you and I'm really grateful. I'm like the newest commissioner here, so I haven't really spent a lot of time with you, but hearing all the accolades from the employees, the staff, the managing, the directors, friends, former president of the board, it just shows you how valuable your contributions are to the city, how you have steered your group through times of change, how those ups and downs, that you've overseen defining moments and major, operational improvements in the city. Thank you. Thank you for your commitment, for your passion, for your inspiration, for really encouraging and developing your staff and actively listening to them with your whiteboard and your markers. You leave a legacy. You leave the place a better place. And we all hope that they can all say that about us, when we retire. But you did. I heard so many comments and fun times about you, but really it's all about the work, the strength of the foundation that you have laid, so that then our employees can continue to do the work and pursue that commitment and passion that you solidly played like a role model for them. So I offer a toast for your next chapter in your life. Enjoy your retirement and whatever activities you plan with your beautiful family. Congratulations on such an awesome career. And really best wishes for your next phase. It was, of course, it's like a sad moment, happy moment whenever somebody of your caliber retires. And I'm reminded of a song by the Beatles, like, you've gone through that long and winding road, and now you have a ticket to ride. So congratulations, Pepe.
Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Reyes. Dr. Davis?
Oh, thank you so much. Congratulations, Pepe, on your retirement after 35 years here in the Bureau of Sanitation for the great Department of Public Works. Most of my insightful lessons and knowledge about people has come not from the classrooms and studying about people, but it has been through observing birthday celebrations, anniversaries, graduations, and in this case, retirements. And one of the things that I have observed is that you are, in fact, an engineer of people, and you are the professor from sanitation. Over the years, I remember you were always professional in your presentation and communication with us. You were dedicated, you reflected that. You were technologically savvy. And then I heard that your daughter is a tech person, so that made good sense. I know that you were describing to us one time many years ago about the various alleys we had, and you had a chart that had some technology that charted out everything. So it all comes full circle in terms of learning that you are the real deal, not only for sanitation, but for this department. I was also inspired by your sons and their tears of joy, as well as that of your wife, because those kinds of things you cannot buy at Harvard, can't buy them at Yale, can't buy them in sanitation. It only reflects the integrity and the wherewithal of professionals like you. Your wife as well, all of them had tears of joy. And in their reflection, it told us all we needed to know about your commitment and dedication to this work and to this job. We could not have discovered it anywhere else, not even on the job. Your family told the real story. And so again, I am so inspired, not only by your 35 years, but I'm inspired by your dedication to this job. I'm inspired by your example. And your children, as they have said, apples don't fall too far from the tree. And they have built upon the foundation that you have laid. And again, I congratulate you, and you are an engineer, and you are the professor of the Bureau of Sanitation. And I am so proud when you sit on your front porch and on that rocking chair and look back on your life as a professional in sanitation in the country's second largest city. You can look back with pride because you not only benefited yourself in terms of the years of service and example that you set, you have benefited and set a foundation upon which this administration coming in under our new mayor, Karen Bass, and wanting to clean up the city of Los Angeles, wanting to redirect services to the homeless, you are a significant part of the structure of services and resources that we will continue to provide in the future. And I thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Commissioner Davis. Thank you so much.
Well said, Dr. Davis. To Vice President Villegas.
Hi, thank you. Ditto what he said and she said. Beautiful comments already. I think that nonetheless, it's important for you to hear just additional accolades and thank yous because they're heartfelt. I think your family had us all in tears. I brought a box of Kleenex out for all of us. It was just very heartfelt and clearly you're a beautiful example to your family. As a as a and look back at just personal, right? Just look back at like my parents' like life and you just think that's such a beautiful tribute to be able to hear those words in a public setting for all of us to hear. Now in the life and in enjoyment and in your retirement, just a testament, a true testament of just the beautiful life that you've led and a clear example to them. What you do at home is how you are in public, and we've been the recipients of that. And just like everybody else said, first day I met you, you gave me your cell number and call me for whatever you need is a common theme that we get to hear today. But clearly your value system is the same value system at home, and it is here at this beautiful city of Los Angeles. And when I came here 3 years ago, everybody mentioned city family and city family this, and I felt like such an outsider. But now I do feel as an insider, and I do think of all of my colleagues as city family because we all share. And what you called not, peaches and cream all the time, but the sausage making and the ups and downs and the figuring things out, because that's what we're here to do. And we're public servants. And we share in that value system that you've, shared with us as well. A big congratulations. Felicidades.
Thank you so much.
Right. I don't know if Ted or Dr. Campos want to say any words. It's open.
Yeah, I would. Pepe, we all have hard jobs, and my office is not, we have a hard job as well, but it's the dedication of our city staff, and I put you at the top of that heap. It's the dedication that makes our job that much easier because we know there's, good thinking, good processes, good people there. And so on behalf of my office and hopefully, Kevin, who's now in my office, will be able to come back and sort of emphasize that as well. So I greatly appreciate your many, many years of hard work and service.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ted. And last one here, I just, Dr. Campos? Okay. I just, on behalf of, did you want to say something, Dr. Campos? It's okay. Yeah. I just want to say to everybody, the public and everyone else also, that why we don't have any time limits on presentation that's special as this one is because you've dedicated 35 years of your personal, your family time, and every single time that there is no time limit to recognize somebody as special as you. So we've dedicated whatever time it took and whoever wanted to say what they wanted to say to you, because you deserve it. And you deserve to have a beautiful, restful, peaceful, non-stress retirement. And I always gauge things based on results. And based on results today, you have 3 wonderful children that are successful right on their own because their father helped them that way. And you have a beautiful wife that still tells you she loves you after so many years of being married to you. That's a great testament of a stand-up, righteous person. And you are the epitome and the model of that. And we are going to miss you. And I'm sorry that I'm emotional because this has all been very nice to hear. And the biggest compliment I would say is that your kids admire you. And Pepe, you can't get that anywhere else. As a Latinos that we are, that's a very, very, very important compliment from our kids to their parents. And so thank you for breaking that generation and for building a new pathway for your families, for your children, for your grandkids. And I know you are going to be the best grandfather to that grandson you have, because now you're going to dedicate 24/7 to them. So I just, at a personal level, and we're going to turn it now into you, Pepe, congratulations. Feel guilt-free and go on your way and do the things you want to do at the time that you want to do them, and just enjoy, because you really left a good legacy. I'm very proud of you for that. And with that, I turn it over to you, Pepe.
Thank you, President Garcia. 35 years, it seems like, it's a long time, but it went fast. And, Lisa, I think, had put it in my head one time. We had conversations, and there just wasn't enough time. So if I would have left today, I'm leaving today or tomorrow or 6 months or 5 years from now, there still wouldn't have been enough time to finish everything. But the 35 years, I could have taken January off, PL, vacation, whatever, burn the time. But no, I went back to every yard. There's 10, 11 yards that I went back to, just to say goodbye in person to all of my people. There's 5 of us left that actually say, I knew you when you were a rookie. To the most recent one that I don't know you, but I heard a lot about you. And because of you, I'm in this program. And in between, everybody who kind of reminded me that the impact, just me doing my job, or me putting programs together, or me pushing agendas, or making things happen, has changed their lives. So in 35 years is obviously a long time, but in 2 weeks, I relived the entire 35 years again. And to me, every day it was like overwhelming, because I got reminded by multiple people of the special moment that you reminded me how meaningful it was for you. So so what creates a memory? If you put an impactful emotion to an event, creates an engraved memory. So for someone to come to say, because of you, this is what happened. But that's what I walk away with. And I didn't expect that. It was totally unexpected. I was just going to say, hey, I'm leaving out with the old, in with the new. Bob will be taking over. And but I got the reverse. I got humility, and if I was an inspiration, or if I was a component in your success, it's because you deserve it. And then, just if you add everything up, it was, I'm kind of old school, right? It's, and then the holidays just passed. And one of my favorite movies, It's a Wonderful Life, Jimmy Stewart. Well, where would all these people be if I hadn't have been where I was supposed to be at the time that God put me there? But as far as my family, they don't know what they're in for, because I still have the energy. I still have the ideas. I still have, I can still walk. So my grandson and I are going to buy a muscle car, and we're going to get a high performance wheelchair, and we're going to start building it today. So, but again, it's those ideas. And if I could, if I could coin my life, and the gratitude I've had to be here, and from beginning to end, and always challenging authority, even, this is the way we've always done it, doesn't mean that it works today. I've had a wonderful life. And Commissioner Davis, in the back of my mind, I came here with the sole intention of reminding you that the SLATE program, even though we didn't get that funding, that South LA wetlands needs to become something that the west side has, but the south side needs. And President Garcia, lasso all the collect trash, coordinate it all, and be the shepherd of everything that happens up there and clean our streets. And to all my friends that joined me today, and my successor, Bob, I leave in good hands because it's Bob. What about Bob? But it's Bob. So I'm leaving relaxed that Bob will do a great job. And to all my friends that joined me at all these events, retired coming here for me, it means a lot. But again, and just to summarize it, I've had a wonderful life. Oh, one more, I forgot. I don't want to forget. My wife doesn't know what's in there. I told her, and jokingly, I said, well, I spent 35 years away from you. So that's like 17 and a half years of we've been together. So now you got me full time. Anyways, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And again, it's been a wonderful ride.
During the virtual platform, you can stand up if you like. Thank you so much, Pepe. And I think, Bob, if you have the certificate there, I'll be a delight if you can read it for Pepe.
Congratulations, man. Yes, sir.
Rags to.
Yes.
It should say right there, just
Rags to riches, Pepe Garcia. It's a wonderful life. This is for Jose Pepe Garcia, Assistant Director, Solid Resource Operations, Bureau of Sanitation. Congratulations on many years of distinguished service and achievement in public service. Your professionalism and dedication to the Department of Public Works and to the citizens of the city of Los Angeles is to be commended. With best wishes for your future health, prosperity, and happiness. And this is signed by all the commissioners here on the board.
And with that, colleagues, we conclude today's presentation. We're going to take 5 minutes. We're going to go use the restroom. That's all fine. But for those here, we're going to take pictures. I think there's a group, so we might just have to do it back there. I think there's quite a little group. That way, everybody that's here joining Pepe today can be part of the picture. So we'll meet in the back. Folks, if you're in the virtual platform, thank you so much. That concludes Pepe's 35 years of his time here with the city. Thank you, Pepe.
President Garcia, we are now in record mode. I can go ahead and reestablish quorum for you. It is 11:51 this morning. We have President Garcia, Vice President Villegas, President Pro Tem Davis, and Commissioner Reyes. President Garcia, you do have a quorum.
Thank you, Dr. Campos, for that. Colleagues, it's always so hard to transition from such a special recognition to like business, but we'll do the best we can and we'll, flow through today's agenda. Thank you all for hanging tight and for being here on for business, but you guys were able to experience such a nice recognition on somebody who really has been part of us for such a long time. So with that said, thank you all again. For those joining us through the virtual platform, thank you again for your time and your patience. We're moving on now to agenda items, and we're going to start with agenda item number 1. This is a request from the Bureau of Engineering in Council District 6. Memorandum of Understanding, temporary homeless shelter facility, Council District number 6, Tiny Home Village, Brantford, San Fernando project. Recommending the board to 1, find the Department of General Services to be qualified to subcontract Volunteers of America for operation of the Council District Number 6 Tiny Home Village, Brantford/San Fernando project abutting to the 9700, 9710 San Fernando Road, Northeast Roadway, Sun Valley, California, 91352. And 2, delegate the signature authority to the city engineer or his designee to execute the memorandum of understanding right of entry permit between the Bureau of Engineering and the GSD department. And this morning, we are here with Janelle. Janelle, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Madam President. Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, City Representatives. My name is Janelle Pata. I'm the Property Manager for Bureau of Engineering, and I'm here to present about this matter. This is basically recommending the Board of Public Works to find that the General Services Department is qualified to subcontract with Volunteers of America for the management of the project, and also to delegate the signature authority to the city engineer to execute the memorandum of understanding and right of entry between the General Services and the Bureau of Engineering. There are 2 transmittals for this board report. Transmittal number 1 is a copy of the MOU-ROE permit between the ROE and the General Services Department. And transmittal number 2 is the environmental documentation for the project dated September 2nd, 2021. A brief background about this is that the city is constructing the tiny home village in the City 6 within the public right-of-way located along the San Fernando Road Northeast Roadway between Brantford Street and Sheldon Street in the Sun Valley area. And the project will be providing housing for approximately 161 people that are experiencing homelessness. This particular MOU will provide GSD the authority to manage the project over a term of 5 years. The environmental report that is part of this particular board report as transmittal number 2 was approved on September 29, 2021. And basically it was concluded by BOE's Environmental Management Group that the project was statutorily exempt from Public Resources Code. The city engineers recommend entering into this MOU permit agreement with GSD, and there is no fiscal impact on the general fund. The execution of this MOU ROE between the BOE and GSD will be a non-monetary agreement. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have about this project.
Thank you, Janelle, for this. Any questions, colleagues? Dr. Davis?
Yeah, could you tell me in your analysis, the advantage that we have in going in-house with General Services?
I believe the advantage, this particular MOU is seeking to find GSD as representative for the city to subcontract with Volunteers of America. The advantage of them managing this is because within the General Services Department, they have the expertise to manage project like this as they have managed the other tiny home village projects.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. Any other questions, colleagues? Commissioner Reyes?
So just one question, Janelle. After 5 years, who takes over the maintenance of the facility?
At this time, this is a temporary housing for people experiencing homelessness. The idea is to help them out. There's a group of people that are going to assist the homeless population with different services. And the idea is that within the 5-year term, they'll be able to stand on their feet, employed, and into permanent housing. I have no idea if the General Services Department will request for the extension of the term of the 5-year term. However, at this time, that is the term that they're seeking for this particular MOU. I can get back to the Board of Public Works for additional information if that's needed.
That will be great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Reyes. Any questions? Janelle, like as we briefly discussed this, I'm gonna strike the word delegate unless any of my commissioners are opposed to that. And instead of delegate, I'm putting authorize the president or 2 commissioners and the city engineer to execute the memorandum of understanding right of entry permit between the Bureau of Engineering and the GSD department. I'm just striking the word delegate and adding president and or 2 commissioners and I am adding and the city engineer. So I want to make sure that the city engineer in your department goes through the MOU as well as we do also. So just making sure that that's clear. Any concerns, objections on that, colleagues? Hearing none. All right, given that this is a homeless temporary shelter, the idea is that we are going to place these shelters, and then, you know, the idea is that hopefully we can eventually, because we've housed our population into now permanent housing, we can eventually take back that public right away, right?
Yes, Madam President.
Thank you very much, Janelle. All right, colleagues, I don't see any other objections or concerns. Is there a motion on the table to move item number 1 forward and forthwith?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Vice President Villegas, and thank you, Dr. Davis. Dr. Campos, we have a first by VP Villegas and a second by Dr. Davis to move item number 1 forward and forthwith as amended.
Thank you. We'll start the voting tabulation now. We'll start with you, President Garcia,
Aye.
Vice President Villegas,
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis,
Aye.
and Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
This motion is adopted and carries unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Have a good rest of the day and a good weekend, Janelle.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 2, this is a request in, who's requesting this? Bureau of Engineering, in Council District 15, a sole source procurement of process equipment, Terminal Island Water Reclamation Plant, preliminary odor control system project, capital improvement, project 5257. We have Mr. Wong here. Yay, good morning, sir, or good afternoon. Just at the point of good afternoon now. Thank you, Mr. Ethan. Recommending the board to 1, authorize the city engineer to sole source the selection of the following equipment for a total not to exceed amount of $550,000 for the Terminal Island Reclamation Plant preliminary odor control system project, a Matala Water Technology Company for the procurement of Matala FSM 365. Ooh, that's gonna be a hard word. Polyethylene. All right. Full sheet filter media, estimated quantity of 2,000 cubic feet for 1 biotrickling filter for an amount not to exceed $280,000. B, 2 Flowserve Corporation Limatorque brand actuators for an amount not to exceed 50,000. C, 1 Rockwell Automatic Inc. Allen Bradley brand local control panel programmable logic controller for an amount not to exceed $130,000. And D, 2 Rockwell Allen Bradley brand variable frequency drives for the amount not to exceed $90,000. And second recommendation, authorize the city engineer to negotiate a price agreement with Matala Water Inc., Flowserve Corporation, and Rockwell Allen Bradley for the above referenced Matala BTF media actuators and LCP PCL BFD, which will be procured and installed by the general contractor awarded to the project. And I am so glad you are the one presenting, so you can tell us what you're doing now. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. This is Ethan Wong. I'm with the Bureau of Engineering, Environmental Engineering Division. So the report before you is for our preliminary odor control system project at the Terminal Island Water Reclamation Plant. So what we're doing here is basically an odor control project, which will basically take the foul air off of the headworks facility, blending tanks, and centrifuge buildings, and basically treat that foul air with a sustainable biological process. So biotrickling filter basically houses microbes that feed on the hydrogen sulfide gas, which is basically what makes the odors in a wastewater treatment facility. So to do this, we are requesting the sole source authority for Matala Water Technologies, Matala polyethylene full sheet filter media. So this filter media was selected for sole sourcing after extensive pilot testing in 2008, where other different medias were all looked at, and what was performed best was Matala. Since 2010, the city has standardized the use of Matala media in all of the BTFs that have been constructed to date. These include the East Central Interceptor Sewer Jefferson Boulevard and La Cienega Boulevard Air Treatment Facility, the North Central Outfall Sewer Jefferson Boulevard ATF locations as well. We have found that these media have minimal reliability issues. They are low maintenance and provide excellent performance for the city facilities. In addition to the Matala polyethylene full sheet filter medias, we're also requesting sole source authority on 2 Flowserve Corporation Limitor brand actuators, 1 Rockwell Automation Allen & Bradley local control panel programmable logic controller, and 2 Rockwell Allen & Bradley variable frequency drives. So the Limitor brand actuators are standardized throughout the Terminal Island Water Reclamation Plant, as well as both the LCPs and the variable frequency drives that Allen & Bradley produce. We use this extensively through all of these projects extensively throughout the plant, and we would like to standardize operations by continuing to use these actuators, the local control panels, and the variable frequency drives. So all of this equipment is required to build this biotrickling facility throughout Terminal Island. I'd be happy to answer any questions regarding this request. Thank you.
Thank you, Ethan, for your very report that you just did to us. Any questions, colleagues? Vice President Villegas?
Oh, I don't.
Okay. Hearing none. We completely trust what you're doing.
Good.
And we enjoyed your board report, by the way. I just want to say that. So Ethan, anything special on this other than what you reported?
No. Yeah, a lot of these equipments are standardized throughout the different plants that the city operates, and yeah, most of these devices are used extensively at Terminal Island.
Okay, so it's very standard procedure that we're
Correct.
okay, understood. All right, colleagues, I don't have any questions. I'm comfortable with Ethan's report. Anybody else? All right. Hearing no objections or concern, is there a motion to move item number 2 forward and forthwith? Thank you, Commissioner Reyes. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, VP Villegas. Dr. Campos, there's a first by Commissioner Reyes and a second by Vice President Villegas to move item number 2 forward and forthwith.
Yes, let's start voting tabulation now. We'll start with you, President Garcia,
Aye.
Vice President Villegas,
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis,
Davis, aye.
and Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
This motion is adopted and carries unanimous.
Great. Thank you very much, Ethan.
Thank
See
you.
Have a good rest of the week and
too.
weekend. All right, moving on to item number 3. This is in all council districts, also from the Bureau of Engineering, a revised sole source task order solicitation number 27 to Stantec Consulting Services, Inc., Capital Improvement Projects Benchmarking Study. Recommending the board to 1, authorize the city engineer to issue a revision of the sole source task order number 27 to Stantec Consulting Services, Inc., for a term up to and including July 1st, 2027, with a budget authority not to exceed $150,000 annually to provide specialized benchmarking services on the capital improvement projects benchmarking study. And 2, authorize the city engineer to accept payment from the participating California city agencies for the term of the sole source task order from all California city agencies participating in the CIP benchmarking study. And last, 3, authorize the Department of Public Works, Director of Accounting to deposit the payments from all the California city agencies participating in the CIP benchmarking study during the term of the sole source task order into the Engineering Special Services Fund, number 682, Department number 50, Appropriation Unit, number 50, JLAB, entitled Benchmarking Studies. And this morning we have here Mr. Jonathan, Jonathan Corral, right? No.
Yeah, that's what my mom
Ah,
always
I know
calls
who
me.
you were, Jonathan.
Yeah.
We just spoke too.
Right.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Jonathan Carroll, Bureau of Engineering, Project Award and Control Division. The contract with Stantec to continue the benchmarking services was extended. The TOS needs to be extended to match the new contract. The Bureau of Engineering has participated in a benchmarking study with 6 other California Public Works agencies for over 20 years. Stantec Consulting Services Incorporated was awarded the task order to conduct the study, and over the years has developed databases and tools to help the agencies share information on projects and develop best practices. To date, the study has created a database of over 3,500 completed projects with a construction value of over $8.5 billion. The study identified over 100 processes used in project delivery, where over 30 were identified as directly impacting the project cost and have become a focus of the study's aim at developing best practices. The study created an online discussion forum to allow the participating agencies to discuss challenges to project delivery with each other. Participation in the study has improved all participating agencies' ability to identify costs in order to control costs. The study provides agencies with better project delivery cost targets and alerts agencies when enhanced efficiencies are needed. The adoption of best practices enhances the efficiency and quality of services provided to constituents. The exchange of information among the largest cities in California yields greater efficiencies relative to solving problems in the most optimum fashion. The cost of the study will remain at $120,000 for 2023. The City of Los Angeles' portion of the fee is $17,143 in annual budgeted costs. And I'm available to field questions.
Thank you, Jonathan, for your report. Any questions, colleagues? I have Commissioner Reyes and then Dr. Davis. And then, no, Commissioner Reyes.
Just have a question on the customized software. Is that a proprietary software that they're using? Because I know Stantec developed its own customized software. So is that proprietary? And how are we planning to have that knowledge transfer to our staff as the study continues?
I can't answer that for you, but I can get back to you if you'd like.
Okay, because that was part of, that was a major part of the sole source justification is the customized software. So if you have that information, if you could just please provide it to the board, and Dr. Campos, if you can get that report from them, please. That's all I have.
Thank you, Commissioner Davis. I'm Commissioner Reyes. Vice President Villegas, do you have a question?
Yes, I do. I'm just a question. This study is going to provide us with efficiencies on project delivery.
Yes, ma'am.
And is this only going to be for BOE?
The study only involves BOE, as far as I know.
If I understand that BOE is our delivery bureau for our Public Works department, but I'm wondering if you could share this information, or if you can get any insight from the Bureau of Sanitation, who's looking to do a design build for stormwater projects, and if that could be included as a part of this.
Okay, I can share that with our executives.
Okay.
And see how we can accommodate that.
Okay, we're looking to do, and I just say we, but all the city family looking to do project delivery on stormwater projects for Measure W projects on a faster scale, on a more efficient than a bid design, what do you call it? Like bid and then construction, or bid design and then construction. And whereas we can just do it on a design build approach.
Okay.
Thank you. I don't have any other questions.
Thank you, Vice President Villegas. Jonathan, you said other cities are part of this as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it surrounding cities or just the entire state?
Throughout the state, actually, feel. City of Los Angeles, City of Long Beach, City of Oakland, City of Sacramento, City of San Diego, City and County of San Francisco, City of San Jose.
Great. And just for my clarification, are we the lead on this? Is why we're collecting their
Yes.
fees? Okay,
Yes.
well done. All right. Any other questions, comments, or concern? If you can get that answer back to Commissioner Reyes, that would be great. I'm also interested in hearing what justification that was.
Certainly, regarding the proprietary software.
Thank you. I don't think we want to hold it. We just want to make sure we're kind of clear on why we're doing it.
Sure.
Okay. All right, colleagues, I don't see any objections on this.
I have a
All right, is there a motion on the table to move item number 3 forward and forthwith? Thank you, Dr. Davis. Is there a second? Thank you, Commissioner Reyes. Dr. Campos, there's a first by Dr. Davis and a second by Commissioner Reyes to move item number 3 forward and forthwith.
Absolutely. Let's start the voting tabulation now. We'll start with you, President Garcia,
Aye.
Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
This motion is adopted and carries unanimous.
Thank you very much. Jonathan, you're on your way and you're good to go now. We're gonna move on to item number 4 now. Oh, there's a question?
Yeah, I'm sorry. We're just looking at the previous action in maybe a possible correction that we need to do, but I'm not quite sure. Perhaps
President,
Jonathan could explain.
when I heard you recite the recommendation, I heard you say 50J as far as the account number.
I have 50JLAB.
I think there's maybe a discrepancy, perhaps. I'm going to look at the agenda now. Our staff is telling me that has a different account number. Is that right?
Yeah, on my copy. U is in uniform. not J.
We'll look at the agenda here.
JLab, that's what I have.
I think there's an issue on the agenda recites appropriation unit number 50JLAB. And I believe the report, Jonathan, correct me if I'm wrong, says 50ULAB. And so what is the correct designation?
What I have is what I'm seeing.
What you have is the correct one? The U?
Right, that's the copy I have, but
Maybe it's in
Maybe
here
the-
already. Let me
Dr.
check. really
Campos
quick.
has a.
Yeah, I can pull up the agenda packet for
Well,
you
let's just,
really quick.
just what is the correct one? Let's get to that.
Jonathan, do you know which one is the correct?
I'm just going by the copy I have, which is you.
The report itself says, because I'm looking at the report, 50JLAB.
Okay,
The agenda
if you're looking at the report, then I'll
The agenda
has a
says,
typo.
I'll go to that.
no, I have 50JLAB also.
Let me-
Okay.
Can I pull up the agenda packet just to confirm?
Yeah,
I
it
don't
is
want to
that.
guess.
I have the packet.
You have the packet.
I have the packet and it says
Okay.
that, 50JLAB.
The
Can
packet
can
has
I
that.
maybe just suggest, because I don't know if we'll be able to
So
get
if
to the
that
bottom of
was the
this,
pack,
just authorize any technical correction that might be necessary.
Okay, but I think we're good because if the board report has JLAB, that's what I have on my
No,
agenda
no,
as
I
well.
understand, but
I
I'm
was going
telling,
to say the same thing. If that is what was submitted to the board and the Bureau of Engineering's report indicates JLAB, that is what your board is taking
I
action
agree.
on.
Okay.
If the Bureau wanted to make a recommendation to modify that to a different account number, which may be the one that Mr. Jordan and Mr. Carroll are referring to, then we could make that modification to the report before you. We would have to recall the item since the motion has already been adopted, and then you can then the board can reconsider the item at that point by reintroducing a new recommendation or two, making a modification to the appropriation account. But to the verification based on the agenda packet, the report that was submitted to our office for your board to consider has appropriation account number 50JLAB, which is on the agenda and on the report.
I agree. Jonathan, you don't know which account number is going into, or you're not?
No,
sure?
I didn't commit it to memory, but if the J is what was submitted and signed, I'm fine with that.
Okay,
It's just
It-
my
it
copy.
looks like the extension that we did in 2018 was 50 ULAB,
Okay,
but that was from 2018.
right.
so, is it a new account? We don't know. And there's no way for us to confirm?
No, not right now. I'd have to go back to my desk.
You have to go back. Is there anybody from BOE that can speak on this, either virtual or here? Okay, because there's a slight discrepancy. I almost feel like I wanna, sorry, but withdraw and then into it's clear,
That's fine.
but I feel pretty comfortable.
If they have a correction, they can bring it back.
Okay, we can do that. Okay,
Yeah, one of the suggestions is your board has already adopted this item
exactly.
as is. If there is a discrepancy or if there is a modification that needs to be done after the fact, the board can prepare a quick motion, half a page motion to update the appropriation account, and then we would modify that. It seems like there was a prior appropriation account in 2015 or so, and then it was modified in 2018. I don't know what the exact dates, but my point is that the Bureau of Engineering can always prepare a quick motion to come back to your board to make a modification to
Okay.
that appropriation account,
Okay.
whatever that account may be or should be.
Okay, let's do that. Let's adopt it as is now. If there is a discrepancy, you will have to contact Dr. Campos to follow the motion and come back to board. But even that, can you just send us an email or send it to Dr. Campos this afternoon confirming the right account, please?
Certainly.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you for catching that, Dr. Ted. All right, item number 3 is, we just went to item number 3. Moving on to item number 4, this is in all council districts. This is a request also from the Bureau of Engineering. This is a task order solicitation number 51, AECom Technical Services, Inc. Pre-qualified on-call wastewater environmental engineering services. Recommending the board to, 1, authorize the city engineer to issue the task to AECom Technical Services from the pre-qualified on-call wastewater and environmental engineering services consultants list to provide sewer engineering support services for the wastewater program as stated in task order 51 with a budget authority of $10 million, including contingency. This morning, we have here Mr. Jonathan Cuevas.
Correct.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for being patient.
Oh, thank you so much. Hi, good afternoon, Jonathan Cuevas, Bureau of Engineering Wastewater Conveyance Engineering Division. Today, I'm presenting on the proposed subject matter for the to award this TOS to AECom. A little bit of background in terms of what the services are for. These are for engineering services that will supplement the work that we do at WCED for engineering services, such as design the new sewers, conduct studies and testing, as well as the rehabilitation of existing sewers, force mains, pumping plants, and odor control facilities. With that, in the board report, we listed 33 sub items that may be required of that the requirements of the consultants. But I want to highlight 2 items in terms of how we're utilizing the consultants. One of them is we are hiring a consultant firm that specializes in traffic controls. What we found out in construction is that we are impacting the community. And by having the traffic controls in place while we go to construction, we have coordinated with LADOT as well as city council to make sure that we do the minimal impact as possible as we are in the public right of way. The other thing we are looking at in this task is a supplemental of work in our office. One of the things we have a hard time fulfilling are like the drafting texts, that unique specialty and things like that is some things that we do require. And in order for us to deliver projects in a timely manner, that's some of the things we have hired the consultants to provide for us. So with that, how do we decide on AECom? We are using the pre-qualified on-call list. They identified 24 consultants to use from. And with that, we put in the request for proposals and we only got 2. With that, we got AECOM as well as Atkins. And so from there, we basically evaluated from the projects and the scope of work that we need. And AECOM did come out with a best team available with the expertise. So with that, we did also include the business inclusion program. And some of the numbers we did have, I want to highlight are, let's see, 18% for minority business, 4% for women-owned business, 25% for small business, 8% for emerging business, and 3% for disabled veterans. And what we were able to work with AECOM and they were able to submit and commit to or pledge to is 18.35 for minority business, 8.25 for women business, 25.45 for small business, 17.95 for emerging business, and 3.15% for disabled business. Now, there's other business numbers for about 5.5% for a total participation of sub-consultants for a total number of 32.10%. And it's with these evaluations and whatnot that we are confident to give the recommendation to award this contract to AECOM.
Understood. Very well. Nice explained why we chose and how you made sure that everybody was aware and we received 2 and AECOM was the winner from those 2, right?
Correct.
Got it. Any questions, colleagues? Vice President Villegas?
Thank you, and thank you for your report. I see just from your BOE on-call list for wastewater environmental engineering services, you have a rotating list of about 24 consultants, and you said only 2 responded, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and it looks like this list has been effective since 2017, is that correct?
Correct. It was through Environmental Engineering Division that conducted this on-call list, and it has been, it was for initial 5 years. It was extended another 5 years. So it's set to expire in July 11th, 2027.
2027. All right. It looks like just from your website, because I look at it all the time, AECOM you can correct me if I'm wrong, but they've received about 5 projects on this contract. Is that right?
As of right now, I don't have that number. I know in previous briefings, we had a list of other consultants that have been awarded projects. And I've seen 3 awarded, but again, from the point of that briefing to today, I think they've been awarded another additional. So I don't have the total number. Sorry.
Okay. All right. And I guess we can do this offline also, but I'd like to see what your outreach is in terms of soliciting other. It's pretty extensive list of 24 and you're only receiving 2. I understand that everybody's got a lot of work, but AECOM is also on your other list because you guys have a total of 9 on-call list. So I'm just wondering what's being done to solicit or how is that approach being done? And that's one of the items that I'd like to speak to you on and maybe a broader a larger group of folks that manage the on-call list.
It is a concern of ours as well.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what we're seeing not only in the consultant services, but also
Sure.
on the contractor services, the lack of people actually putting bids in. We really don't know. We were actually quite surprised. This is the second contract from this on-call list that was started in 2017. The first time we put it out there, we had 5 consultant firms. And that's why we were surprised that only 2 apply at this time.
Okay. Just from looking on this, seems like Tetra Tech, AECOM, and CDM Smith are the ones that are most responsive.
Yes. We do just coordinate with the other on-call potentials coming up, and we're seeing variety coming up.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Vice President Villegas. Perhaps, Jonathan, we can do some kind of a survey asking, why is it that we're getting kind of low response from the other folks? Unless you know some of the justifications of why others are not submitting.
So again, because of this concern of ours, we did reach out to the consultants
Sure.
to get, to see if it was a potential for even to go out there,
Okay.
whether to rebid again and whatnot for those opportunities. And when we reached out, they said firms are just too busy right now. One, it's also again, I guess we hear from the news about the lack of workforce, potential supply chain type thing, and they themselves are being hit hard. we looked at, hey, what are you doing for recruiting? They're actively recruiting. Just for the ACOM, when we're evaluating them, we asked them, hey, what's your task of bringing in? They're putting in grants out there for students, scholarships and everything like that to bring people in and whatnot, just from their point of view, because the work is out there, it's just that they can't fulfill it.
Understood. Okay. Okay, just because I think to Vice President's point, it's a little concerning out of 24 to submit. And so I just want to get a sense of why this is happening, because if not, it kind of defeats the purpose of the on-call, right? And so maybe outbidding would be, or out to the open bidding would be probably a good process, because it's a $10 million task.
Yes, it's not to exceed amount. And again, as we do see it, we do ask for it. We do utilize it. I can tell you from the previous contract, we had a not to exceed amount of $8 million, and we didn't exhaust it all.
Understood. Okay. I see Ethan Walk coming up here. Come on, sir.
Sorry, Ethan.
Good morning. Once again, this is Ethan Wong with the Bureau of Engineering's Environmental Engineering Division. So yeah, the Environmental Engineering Division is tasked as the contract manager for the pre-qualified on-call list. So we are in the process of conducting a survey on why we haven't got as many responses. So we'll report back to the board in the future on that.
Oh, yes. Looking forward to that, by the way. Thank you for that, Jonathan. I appreciate it. I'm sorry, Ethan and Jonathan. All right. I don't see any other questions from the commissioners. Any objections? We know we have to get this done. So is there a motion on the table to move item number 4 forward and forthwith?
So moved.
Thank you, Vice President Villegas. Is there a second? Thank you, Dr. Davis. Dr. Campos, there's the first by VP Villegas and a second by Dr. Davis to move item number 4 forward and forthwith.
Absolutely. We'll start the voting tabulation now. We'll start with you, President Garcia,
Aye.
Vice President Villegas,
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis, and Commissioner Reyes. This motion is adopted and carries unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time this morning and look forward to those answers as they come in.
Well, thank you so much, Commissioners. Thank you.
Have a good weekend. All right, colleagues, moving on to item number 5. I'm going to read it into the record, but I believe we have a caller on this item. And then we'll go public comment and then the presenter for this item, which is number 5. Oh, we quite have a few. Matt Masuda, right? And Mark Gutierrez and Patricia Fueyas are here. So I'll read it into the record, private caller, and then you guys come up. All right, this is a joint report with the Bureau of Engineering and the Bureau of Contract Administration in Council District 5. Contract award to Access Pacific Inc. National Boulevard Sidewalk between Clarington Avenue and Jasmine Avenue project, recommending the board to 1, declare HZS Engineering Inc. doing business as HCS Construction, the first low bidder, to be non-responsive as discussed in this report. 2, declare Access Pacific Inc., the second low bidder, to be the lowest responsible bidder and award access a contract for the National Boulevard Sidewalk between Clarington Avenue and Jasmine Avenue project for $867,305.50, and authorize the president or 2 members of the board to execute the contract after approval as to form has been obtained from the city attorney. And Dr. Campos will go with public comment.
Thank you, President Garcia. Fernando Campos, Executive Officer. Board of Public Works is now considering item number 5. If you're a member of the general public that would like to speak on item number 5, if you can please raise your hand at this time by pressing *9, or you can click the raise hand icon if you're joining us through the Zoom application. We do have one caller on the line for item number 5, Dr. Tom Williams. If you can please unmute your microphone at this time. You'll have 2 minutes to speak under item number 5.
Good afternoon. Long meeting, but anyway, Dr. Tom Williams, Citizens Coalition for a Safe Community. We would like to get copies or web access to the proposal, the contract specifications and drawings regarding this particular project. We're quite concerned about the absence of ADA compliance on many other similar small projects within the city and especially the downtown areas of Los Angeles. So we would like to make a formal request for copies of the proposal, the contract and specifications, and access to the drawings for this particular project. It's relatively small, but there are some issues regarding how to connect the sidewalk to the crossings at the intersections and access to the metro station, which is along the one end of the project. So that's basically all. We're quite concerned about crosswalks and ADA curb ramps. That's all. Hello?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Williams. Last call for any callers on the line that would like to speak on item number 5. If you can please raise your hand at this time by pressing *9 or clicking the raise hand icon. Seeing no other hands raised, President Garcia, that does clear the queue for item number 5 for public comments.
Thank you, Dr. Campos. Public comments now officially closed for item number 5. Mr. Matsuda, you ready? Come on up, sir. And Mark Gutierrez and Patricia. Joint effort here. Go ahead, sir. Welcome.
Good afternoon, honorable board members. My name is Matthew Masuda. I'm the senior civil engineer at the Street Improvement Division of the Bureau of Engineering. I'm here to present the contract award board report for the National Boulevard Sidewalk project between Clarington Avenue and Jasmine Avenue. First, a little background. This project will construct a segment of sidewalk to close a gap in the existing pedestrian access route along the north side of National Boulevard between Clarington Avenue and Jasmine Avenue in the Palms area of Council District 5. This is located near the Palms station of the Metro Exposition line. This will provide pedestrian connectivity in the area and increase pedestrian safety. The improvements will include new concrete ADA compliant sidewalk, curb and gutter, asphalt concrete pavement, and new traffic striping. The duration of this project is 275 calendar days, and the funding is from SB1 and Fund 100. We received 2 bids for this project. The first low bidder, HZS Engineering Incorporated, failed to pass their business inclusion program outreach evaluation and was found to be non-responsive by the Office of Contract Compliance. We recommend that the board declare Access Pacific Incorporated as the lowest responsive and responsible bidder and to award the contract for the amount of $867,305.50. For the record, this board report has some formatting issues on the agenda packet. We can confirm that the 2 bidders for this project have clean, legible copies of the board report. I'm open to field any questions. I have Kitty Sue, the project manager of this project, and the members of the contract compliance staff here.
Thank you so much for that. Any questions, colleagues? I have a question. I know that this is we went to our second lowest bidder. Was HCS Engineering aware of today's hearing and were they notified? I see Patricia saying that. Come on, Patricia.
Yes, they were. They were given a copy of the board report and they're aware of this meeting.
Okay, and no opposition on their end?
Well, there was a protest letter included in the a board report, but they're not here.
Okay, I see Ted Jordan and then Dr. Campos.
I think Dr. Campos is going to say what I'm
Go
going to
ahead,
say.
Go ahead, Ted.
No, that's fine. For the record, HZS Engineering is actually in the meeting during the virtual thing, so I can see them, and they have their hand raised.
Oh.
They have their hand raised.
And just for the record, Fernando Campos, Executive Officer, when I did ask for others to speak on this item, the hand was not raised. So the hand may have just recently been raised. So just wanted to state that for the record.
Understood. Given that they have raised their hand and they are a interest party, I'm more than happy to give them some time to speak. Dr. Campos, can we give them access to speak?
HZS Engineering, you've been allowed to speak.
Hi there.
If you can
you
please
hear
unmute
me?
the microphone, the Board of Public Works is considering item number 5. Please go ahead.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So we based on like the review that the BCA has done, we became non-compliant with the like the outreach because we uploaded the summary sheet manually instead of like modifying the RAM in the like the outreach in the RAM. So and since we sent a letter and you can see it in the attachments in the report, and we basically we have done 2 jobs before with the city, and we did we followed the same procedure and we uploaded them manually, and that's how we got awarded for the 2 previous projects, and we followed the same procedure. And but this time we got like disqualified because of this, and we didn't know that. And in the letter also we requested if the board can reconsider their decision.
Thank you. Is that the end of your comment, sir?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much for your and for your comments. I want to get some clarification around this. So I know Patricia from Bureau of Contract Administration, you're here to provide us some context behind this, right?
Yes, that's
Perfect.
correct. Good morning. My name is Patricia Reyes and I'm with the Bureau of Contract Administration. So in response to HCS's presentation, according to the bid specifications requirements, all bids, responses received, regardless of whether or not the bidder outreach to the subcontractors, must be submitted and included on the online summary sheet. A bidder's failure to utilize the RAMP summary sheet function will result in their bid being deemed non-responsive. So in the letter dated October 27, 2022, the OCC notified HCS of their failure to meet the project's BIP indicator 6 negotiate in good faith requirement, which is transmittal number 2. As mentioned by HCS, the following day, HCS responded on October 28, 2022, explaining that they had met the BIP indicator 6 negotiating in good faith requirements by uploading onto the BIP supporting document section of RAMP, a manual summary sheet along with copies of quotes received from both selected and non-selected contractors as seen in transmittal number 3. In addition, HCS stated that none of the subcontractors solicited through the RAMP responded, therefore no modifications were required to be made. They added that they did not know that subcontractors contacted outside of the RAMP could be added onto the summary sheet. To support their protest, HCS referenced a previous project awarded to them by the board wherein an uploaded manual summary sheet was accepted by the OCC. This project was the Sanborn Avenue reconstruction near Washington Boulevard Street improvement and was awarded in June 4th, 2021, which was approximately a year and a half ago. HCS concluded that they believe that the purpose of BIP indicator 6 negotiate in good faith is to ensure that the bidder performed an outreach and to provide proof and documentation of such outreach. They contended that they fulfilled that requirement by providing the required documentation manually instead of simply editing the manual summary sheet. So on the Sanborn Avenue reconstruction project, the OCC acknowledges that we accepted HCS's manual summary sheet in error and should have instead recommended HCS be found non-responsive to the BIP indicator 6 requirements. However, also on August 15, 2022, the OCC notified HCS of their failure to meet the same BIP indicator 6 negotiate in good faith requirement on another project, which was a bid in July 2022, which was only about 6 months ago. The name of that project was Sidewalk Repair Program Package number 61. Therefore, the OCC recommendation on this project remains unchanged. So they were notified of their failure for another project after we had approved the project that was awarded back in 2021. So, and they also are, and we're stating that we did approve the 2021 project in error, and we shouldn't have done that.
Okay. Any questions from the commissioners? I see Vice President Villegas. Vice President Villegas?
Because I mentioned this earlier to our city attorney, because the report isn't reflected clearly or isn't legible, I was proposing to continue this item so that it's reflected clearly and for transparency purposes for the public for 1 week.
I'm okay with that. The colleagues, I'm okay with that too, because I think Patricia, if it's okay with you, you may brief each and one of us individually. You can brief us all, but individually on this item, just so that we can get the background on it. I have more questions on the project on 2021 and now, and I don't think this is the right setting right now I want to get some of the clarification we have on the 2021 projects. So, and there's a lot of questions around that. So I think as we're not clear, we're going to hold this item into a week from now. So next Friday, February 3rd.
That would be Friday, February 3rd. Yes.
And so you'll be back, Patricia and Matthew. Thank you so much.
Commissioner, I'm sorry to interject.
Yes, sir.
For the purpose of our, the contractor who's on the line, it may be a good idea to remind them that next Friday's meeting is
Yes,
it's a special meeting at a different time.
Oh, correct. Thank you for that reminder. And this is for anybody, for you also as well. Next Friday, we're starting our meeting at 1 p.m. So it's an afternoon meeting. And we should have a short time of agenda, but it can go either way. So just be ready to be here at 1 p.m. next Friday.
And President Garcia, Fernando Campos, Executive Officer, if your board wishes to continue this item to next Friday, February 3rd at 1 o'clock, would like to request the Bureau of Engineering to resubmit its report with a clean version so that we can upload it for the public to view. Otherwise, a withdrawal of the item and then a resubmission of the item with a clean copy. That would be another option, but I can work with either option.
I think if we can, I would rather, because I always like to have things clean. So if we can withdraw the item and then you guys can resubmit a board report with a more thorough background on what happened and where we're at, and then also brief us during the week, then we'll have a pretty good clean and item for next week. And is delaying it 1 week, is that enough? Is it going to cost any delays in anything that we're doing? Because I almost feel like maybe 2 weeks to give you time to write the report and submit. Would you guys prefer 1 week or 2 weeks of a continuation?
I think 1 week would be adequate.
Okay, understood. So February 3rd at 1 p.m. we'll meet back here on this item once again. And that also goes for HZS. Just know that next Friday, we're continuing this item, and next Friday, we will hear it again at 1 p.m. Also access specific for that matter.
So for clarity, not to add more.
Sure.
Continue the item and then have the Bureau of Engineering resubmit a report, add it to the current documents, or withdraw the item, completely close it out, and then have Bureau of Engineering resubmit its report, a new report with any added information, whatever they would like to do, provide at that time. I just need some clarity on
Yes,
which direction.
withdraw the item
Withdraw the item.
with a new clean report.
And then have the Bureau of Engineering resubmit a report. If the Bureau of Engineering, if you can do that by Monday, close of business, so that we can post the agenda on Tuesday afternoon.
That's why I was saying if 2 weeks was better for you guys, since we need the report by Monday, close of business.
Can we
You guys-
modify the
You guys
report
can
by
huddle
Monday?
if you want. Go ahead, Mark.
Good afternoon, Mark Gutierrez, OCC. The report we have is formatted correctly, so there's nothing we need to change in the report we have. I guess it's just giving you guys a clean copy of it to be uploaded and appear correct.
Well, we need more context. and we need more content on kind of all this, HCC and what they did and did they submit and why the 2021 project. So there's more content that you guys need to add. So that's why we're saying if 1 week is enough, because we need the report by Monday close of business.
Yeah, the report actually contains all that info that Patty shared
Okay.
in its current state.
Okay, although we're not clear, so this is why VP Villegas is asking for continuance.
It was in possibly in the transmittal that is to the public, it is not legible.
Mhm.
So it's perhaps the information that you're mentioning is clear on here, but it is as you saw it already, because you're all well aware of this, it's scattered on the actual like transmittal that is on the board report. And so and if 1 week is fine, then 1 week it is.
Yeah, 1 week's fine, and we'll brief all the commissioners that wish to be briefed.
Understood. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, 1 week it is. Monday close of business. Thank you.
Okay, so item is withdrawn. Bureau of Engineering will submit a clean report. Appears to be the same report, but a clean report that's readable and legible for everyone. And then we will add that item to the February 3rd at 1 p.m.
Yes.
Board agenda.
Yes, is that okay with you guys? And please, since you guys are gonna resubmit the report, if there's context that was not included, this is the time to include it then. All right, so just to kind of clear the airways, we are withdrawing, you guys are resubmitting, and we will hear this item back again next Friday at 1 p.m. Okay, and that goes for also the folks via virtual. All right, colleagues, anything else on this item just before we close it seems like everybody's okay. You guys are fine? Okay, thank you. Moving on to item number 6. This is an administrative item. Specification submitted for board adoption and authorization to advertise for the invitation of bids. Council District 15, Pumping Plant 669 Harris Place Rehabilitation, Work Order SZZ 13945, estimate amount of $8,854,000. Bid receipt date March 15, 2023. Is there a second to my motion to adopt item number 6?
Second.
Thank you, VP Villegas. Dr. Campos is the first by me and a second by VP Villegas to adopt item number 6. Oh my God.
Yeah, 6.
What time is it?
Yes, we'll start the voting tabulation now. We'll start with you, President Garcia. Vice President Villegas. President Pro Tem Davis. That's an aye. We'll record that as an aye. And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
This motion is adopted and carries unanimous. Thank you.
Great, thank you for that. Moving on to item number 7. This is also an administrative item in all council districts. The mayor has approved and authorized the Board of Public Works on behalf of the Office of Petroleum and Natural Gas Administration and Safety to execute the proposed contracts for oil facility and oil well amortization studies with Alvarez and Marcel Public Sector Services, LLC, Baker and O'Brien, Inc., and CJM Petroleum Consultant, Inc. Is there a second to my motion to adopt item number 7? Thank you, Commissioner Reyes. I'm gonna take that as a second, Commissioner Reyes. Dr. Campos is the first by me and a second by Commissioner Reyes to adopt item number 7.
Start the voting tabulation now. It will start with you, President Garcia.
Aye.
Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
This motion is adopted and carries unanimous.
Great. Erica, if you're listening to us, you are on your way now. So happy this is done. All right, to the most important things that folks have been waiting.
Public comment.
Who was that?
Number 7.
I'm sorry. Oh, there was a comment on number 7? My apologies on that. Dr. Campos, we are gonna reopen item number 7 so that we can hear public comment on that.
Absolutely. Dr. Tom Williams, if you can please unmute your microphone at this time. The Board of Public Works has reopened item number 7 and you'll have 2 minutes to speak under general public comment.
Thank you.
Sorry, 2
Dr.
minutes to speak
Tom
under
Williams,
this.
Citizens Coalition for a Safe Community. We are quite concerned regarding this project and the studies that are going to be done. We would like to see all documents related to these selections and the concept as to the amortization studies. We are doing the same thing in Culver City, for the amortization of public wells or private wells on areas within Culver City. The central issue will be the abandoned wells versus the idled wells that are not producing and have not produced in many cases for more than 5 years. So we would like to see an acceleration of abandonment, proper abandonment of idled wells that have not been operating or producing for at least 2 years. This is a very common problem because they don't want to do the work to seal these wells off. So I'd highly recommend that a change order perhaps be required in the amortization studies to prioritize idled wells so that they can be removed from the public contamination for, you might say, within the first 2 years of the process. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Williams. President Garcia, that does clear the queue for item number 7. Would you like to, since this item was put back on the table, we'll go ahead and do the motion again. A motion by Commissioner Garcia, seconded by Commissioner Reyes. If you like, we can go ahead and start the retabulation again.
Yes, please.
Perfect, thank you. We'll start with you, President Garcia,
Aye.
Vice President Villegas,
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis,
Aye.
and Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
This motion is adopted and carries unanimous. This is for item number 7.
Thank you very much on that. And thank you for the reminder that we had a caller. I do appreciate that. All right. Moving on to the last section of today's agenda, which is the oral reports. The long awaited Mr. Bingaman, come on up here. This is item number 8, status update on major upcoming street improvement projects by the Bureau of Street Services. And this morning we have Mr. Bingaman, very enthusiastic here that had lunch and breakfast already.
Good
Welcome,
afternoon,
sir.
President Davis and the board. I'm here to present for street services. This information is being provided to keep the public informed on upcoming resurfacing projects and to minimize the impact on the community as well as delays to commuters. Streets LA would like to provide you with an update on all upcoming street improvement projects. There are no major street projects scheduled for the Metro or Valley region resurfacing during the week of January 29th through February 4th. However, we would like to provide an update on our 22-23 pavement preservation program. During the week of January 29th through February 4th, the Metro region will complete 9 projects for a total of 7.59 lane miles. During the week of January 29th through February 4th, the Valley region will complete 7 projects for a total of 6.99 lane miles. The press releases were broadcast. The notifications have been issued. Streets LA has coordinated with the Council District Office to assist with the outreach to stakeholders, and we have coordinated with the Los Angeles Department of Transportation for traffic control assistance. This information is also available at the Streets LA website. For additional information or concerns, you can contact Sherrod Nichols at 213-847-3200. And that completes the report.
Thank you, sir, for your being so patient and for your time.
Not a problem.
You are free to go now.
Thank you. It was good seeing you
Thank
guys.
you. And moving on to our last item on today's agenda, it's item number 9, status of all personnel service contracts and policy number 793, all bureaus. And I think we have all bureaus here, so I'm gonna start with BSS, and then we'll move on to BSL if we have them all, and BOE, Bureau of Contract Administration, and then we'll end with sanitation. All right, so Bureau of Street Services?
Yes, good afternoon, Commissioners and Madam President. My name is Brian and I'm with Bureau of Street Services. I'd like to report on policy 793 for the 4th quarter 2022. Change orders issues for the Bureau of Street Services construction project, San Fernando Bikeway Phase 3 project. For the San Fernando Road Bike Path Phase 3 project in the 4th quarter of 2022, Bureau of Street Services issued 2 change orders in the amount of $290,122.50, which is 1.58% of the contracted amount. For the project, Bureau of Street Services issued total of 44 change orders in the amount of 2.703 972 dollars and 11 cents, which is 12.25% of the contract amount. This concludes the update for the fourth quarter, policy 793 for the Bureau of Street Services. Please let me know if there's any questions.
Thank you so much. Any questions for the Bureau of Street Services? Vice President Villegas? Oh, no. Seeing none, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a good rest of the day. Thank you for your patience, by the way. Bureau of Street Lighting? Almost, you're almost here.
Good afternoon, Madam President, Commissioners, colleagues. Assad Al-Najjar, Bureau of Street Lighting. So the original 6-month, 245,000 personal service contract we have is with NBS Government Finance LLC for a database software to complete over 550,000 new assessment calculations and to make recommended changes to Proposition 218 related documents, including our engineering report that you have. To better position the Bureau, we conduct a citywide mail-in ballot measure, and it was executed on May 27th, 2021, and commenced on June 14, 2021. The board adopted our supplemental agreement number 1 with NBS on May 18, 2022, and the agreement was executed on June 22, 2022. Supplemental agreement number 1 added 9 months to the original contract, ending date December 10, 2021, and thereby extending the date to September 7, 2022. This increase in contract duration was based on the anticipated time needed to complete the engineering report, the ballot design process, as well to perform new services, including polling, public outreach services, and better help us complete the citywide street lighting maintenance assessment ballot process. We have extended the agreement with NBS to March 7, 2023. The terms and language in the agreement allow us to extend the agreement with NBS by providing NBS written notice on a month-to-month basis for a maximum of 6 months, during which period the city and NBS shall continue performance under the term of the agreement. There is no impact to the general fund. Funding for the contract is being paid from the Bureau of Street Lighting Maintenance Assessment Fund. The city total obligation under this contract shall not exceed $1,539,000, and to date we expended $245,000. Thank you.
Thank you, Assad, and also thank you for being so patient. Are we, did I hear this correctly? You said NBS contract is up to March 7, 2023?
At this time, yes.
Okay, and we are planning to extend that?
Right, and
Okay.
that's why we have the month-to-month.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you, Assad. Have
Thank
a good
you.
weekend. Melinda, I didn't see you there.
Hi, Commissioners. Thank you very much, and good afternoon, everyone else. My name is Melinda Chow, representing the Bureau of Street Services to present the status of all contracts for the period covering October to December 2022. We currently have 22 active contracts, as well as 13 active task order solicitation awards, and I'll go over each of them in detail. We do have 2 contracts that are for asphalt production services, which are used on an as-needed basis. That includes for the production and delivery of recycled asphalt concrete from reclaimed asphalt pavement. And those 2 contracts are continuing on a month-to-month basis, and we have them contracted out to All American Asphalt, covering zones 1 and 2, which is the Valley and the Metro regions. We also have number 3, which is our hazardous waste disposal contract with Clean Harbors Environmental. That contract expires on November 1st, 2023. Those services are ongoing, and we will be working on a new contract to replace that when the time comes, when the expiration comes. We do have 5 contracts for disposal of and recycling of inert, mixed inert, waste debris, white goods, materials, and bulky items. And there are 5 contracts under those services, namely awarded to American Reclamation, California Waste Services, Recycle Aggregate Materials Company, Herculean Enterprises, DBA Crown Recycling, and USA Waste of California, DBA Waste Management. All of those 5 disposal contracts actually expired on December 31st, 2022. However, we have been working on an amendment to extend those for 1 year with an option to renew for a additional year as well. Because these are contracts are already 3 years, we will need board approval as well as council approval. So we will be, the board report and everything has been done. We expect to come to board for that presentation in February. The next 4 contracts are for our landscape to median island maintenance contracts. They cover the Bay Harbor area with Green Garden Incorporated, the West Valley area with International Environmental Corps, and North Central with Mariposa Landscapes, as well as Stanley Group covering the East Valley area. These contracts are 1 year with renewal options. So currently we are on the 3rd year. The board had approved all the renewals for the 3rd year, and notice to proceed were issued in October of 2022. And we are in the process of drafting a new request for bid, and hopefully we'll be coming to board in the next couple of months before the current contracts expire. We also have a contract with the Alfred J.C. DeCole for the Coordinated Street Furniture Program, which is to install and maintain transit shelters, toilets, and kiosks in exchange for advertising revenue, sorry. And that contract expired December 31st, 2022. And we are allowing that contract to expire as we have already executed a new contract with Transito Vector to replace those services. And item number 14 is for bus benches with Martin Outdoor Media. That contract expires in December 31st, 2026, and the contract is ongoing, so no change. Number 15 is for Creative Paving Solutions for Cool Pavement Services, which is to apply cool pavement in select neighborhoods. That contract is expiring June 30th, 2023. The original contract was 1 year with 1 year renewal. So this would end the contract come June 30th, 2023. We do not know what the plans are for next fiscal year. It will depend on whether we get funding in the budget. So we'll see on that one. Item 16 is contract for freeway off-ramp closure services through Sterndal Enterprises. That contract is a 3-year contract, and it expires August 31st, 2024. Services are ongoing as well, and no changes on that. We do have also a contract with Ecology Auto Parts for heavy equipment transport services, and it's used on an as-needed basis to transport heavy equipment for our code-in-place recycling and milling machines. That contract is a 1 year with 2 1-year option renewals, and we are currently on the 2nd year. So it will expire October 31st, 2023, and should we decide to extend that for another year, we will exercise that option before it expires. Item number 18 is contract with Mariposa Landscapes for Venice Canals or Bologna Lagoon maintenance. That is a 3-year contract and services are ongoing and the contract will expire September 30th, 2024. So we have a ways to go. Item number 19 is for community engagement services with Redeemer Community Partnership. And that is specifically community engagement services for the Normandy Beautiful project. That contract was executed recently in August of 2022 and will expire January 2nd, 2025. So not much has happened except that work is basically ongoing. And then item number 20 is for Sidewalk and Transit Amenities Program. And that is the contract with Transito Vector that was executed in September 2022 with a notice to proceed issued on October 3rd, 2022. So that is the contract that is replacing the Alfred J.C. Cole contract. We also had a contract executed during this reporting period for education services for the street maintenance technology program through the Los Angeles Community College District. Commonly, of that, it's actually provided through the LA Trade Tech College. That contract was approved by board and we received the mayoral approval in October. And the contract is fully executed now and with an effective date of July 1st, 2022. And then lastly, we have the pavement consultant services through Shaheen and Associates. That contract was just executed during this reporting period. The mayoral ED3 review was received on December 8th. So the contract has been signed, also retroactive to July 1st, 2022 effective date. We do have 2 pending contracts that are in the works. One is for the Sidewalk Transit Amenities Program Consulting Services. That's still in the works and we're drafting a sole source contract for that. We are also working on a sidewalk and park vending outreach education services contract. And this is actually to create an on-call list for education services on the sidewalk and park vending program. And we are looking at 5 awarding contracts to 5 companies that responded. The board report for this has already been approved and we are pending city attorney final review on the revised draft contract. So we do also expect to come to board with the requesting approval to execute those contracts hopefully in February. And in terms of task order solicitations, we do have 13 active ones and all of the task order solicitations are actually awards that are being for contracts that are administered by other departments, primarily all through the Bureau of Engineering's contracts, except for 2 that are through LADOT's on-call list. So the first one is with Tetra Tech for maintenance operations improvement services, consultant services. And that's the work for this has actually been completed a while ago, but they did issue an official closeout letter on November 16th, 2022. The next one is with Solmus and Associates for systems development and support services, consultant services. That's also issued through the BOE's contract on-call list. And the work is ongoing and no changes to the contract terms. We do have an award issue for up to a little bit over $1 million for that one. The third toss is for the Sidewalk and Transit Amenities Program, environmental documentation through Parsons Transportation Group. And this is also through BOE's on-call list. Work is continuing, and this is for an award of $136,000. The next one is with Harrison Associates for civil engineering, design, and support services. This contract is actually showing an expiration date of March 17, 2022. And the project has actually been completed also before the contract expire. However, they just issued the official closeout letter on October 24th, 2022. We also have a contract with a task order award issued to Hatch Associates Consultants, Inc. for our enterprise asset management system implementation consultant. This is through LADOT's on-call list, and the work is ongoing, and the award contract amount is for a little bit over $1 million. Item number 6 is civil engineering design services and for our Broadway Manchester Active Transportation Equity Project, and that's with Kimley Horn and Associates. That is also using BOE's on-call list, and the NTPs issued through October 12th, 2022 totals 4.5 million. The contract award is about $6.6 million. Item number 7 is with Nelson Nygaard Consulting Associates to perform feasibility study for our 2028 Olympic Legacy Street Improvements Plan. That one is using LADOT's on-call list, and work is ongoing on that, and is actually expected to be completed by March of 2023. We do have 2 projects for Measure W feasibility studies. One is with specifically for the Mission Mile Sepulveda project, and that is awarded to CDM Smith for $203,000. The work has already started on that one, and no changes except that the work is ongoing. And CDM Smith was also awarded a similar project, but it's for the Eagle Rock Boulevard, a multimodal stormwater capture project. Same thing, also for $203,000. The scope of work is pretty much identical, except that is for a different project location. And we do have item number 10, which is a contract with Somas and Associates for the evaluation and implementation strategy to optimize street sweeping operations. That was awarded for $793,000. I'm sorry, a little bit under $1 million. And work is ongoing. The notice to proceed was issued in May of 2022. So work is ongoing for that project. The item number 11 is and 12 are basically for similar work, except that the contract awards were awarded to 2 different firms. It's for the design, survey, and construction management for access ramps. It was awarded to Tetra Tech for $1.2 million, as well as MGE Engineering for $1.4 million. Those were approved by board on October 14, 2022, and the notice to proceed were issued on October 26 to both firms. Lastly, we have another award that was brand new awarded for a pavement condition survey. That was basically to conduct a pavement condition survey and analysis of the street network, and it was awarded to Michael Baker International, Inc. The board approved the award on January 18th. And BOE is currently in the process of extending the contract for an additional 5 years, as the current contract expires October 22, 2024. So the board had just recently approved this and the notice to proceed will be issued shortly after that. And that concludes my report. And any questions?
You're always so thorough. Thank you so much. And thank you for the spreadsheet as well. It was very good to follow what you were saying as we were reading it. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I think next we have BOE. Hi again.
Hello again, Jonathan Carroll, Bureau of Engineering, Project Award and Control Division. Personal Services Contract System, PSCS Quarterly Report Status Report from October 1st, 2022 through December 31, 2022. As of December 31st, there were 150 active contracts. One contract is expiring next quarter. 25 current negative deviations. Tasks awarded over $150,000. In the Business Inclusion Program, there were two totaling $8,395,000. They were for AECom Technical Service and Converse Consultants. In the Disadvantaged Business Outreach, there were three totaling $3.7 million. First is for MGE Engineering, second is for Mofat and Nicole, and the third is for Tetra Tech. There is one contract expiring next quarter, as I mentioned, for Populous. It expires March 20, 2023. The program overview for all active contracts. MBE, WBE Outreach Program have 12 contracts totaling $3.6 million. Business Inclusion Program has 118 contracts totaling $110 million. Disadvantaged Business Outreach Program has 32 contracts totaling $47.9 million. Thank you.
I appreciate your report. Thank you. We're going to just take a quick 5-minute break and then we'll continue with BCA. Thank you. Yeah.
Go ahead, Dr. Campos.
President Garcia, let me go ahead and reestablish quorum. It is 1:21 p.m. for today, Wednesday, January 27th, 2023. We have President Garcia, Vice President Villegas, President Pro Tem Davis just walked back in, and Commissioner Reyes. President Garcia. President Garcia, you do have a quorum.
Thank you very much. And with that, I think we have one more speaker, BOE is what I was told. Two more. Okay. Sorry, I know that has not happened.
Long meeting today. Good morning. Ryan Tolles, Bureau of Engineering. I'm here to report on the Bureau's construction services contracts and construction orders that have been issued between October 1st of 2022 to December 31st of 2022. Starting with our municipal facilities and related projects contract, 0 construction orders were issued under that contract. And just to be clear, a construction order is what establishes the scope of work and budget for a project. And so that's how we issue work under these emergency contracts. The next contract is the emergency geotechnical and structural contract. $0 were issued during this period. Street improvement contract, 0 construction orders issued during this period. The emergency storm drain repairs contract, there were a total of 12 construction orders issued within the period for a total of $552,000. The next one is the emergency demolition services contract. There were 0 construction orders issued during the period. Emergency construction and repair services at wastewater treatment plants, 0 construction orders within the period. And then finally, the emergency sewer repair contract, which issued 89 total construction orders within the period, totaling $3,169,500. I'm here to answer any questions you have on this.
Oh my God, Ryan, I'm so sorry.
No worries.
Any questions, colleagues? No, thank you, Ryan.
Thank
Have
you,
a good
guys.
weekend.
You too.
Apologies. And then I think the last one is Miss Natalie Moore. Celebrity sighting.
Hi, good afternoon, Commissioners. Natalie Moore with the Bureau of Engineering and Construction Management Division. I'm here today to provide an update on construction change orders under $150,000 that were issued by the Bureau of Engineering between October 1st and December 31st, 2022. The Bureau issued a total of 101 change orders between 33 different projects during this period for a combined total of $2,460,107.74. That concludes my report, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Natalie, for that. I appreciate it. Any questions, colleagues? Seeing none, thank you again, and sorry about that too.
No, thank you.
Thank you, Natalie, and all the BOE team here. Have a good rest of the weekend as well. Ethan, I don't have any more BOE stuff. Oh, we do. Miss, we have one more BOE? No, okay. And last, we have Bureau Sanitation. Nancy? Last but not least, Nancy, left it all to you.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. It's nice to see everybody in person. This is LA Sanitation's Personal Services Contracts Quarterly Summary Report for the quarter ending December 31st, 2022 first, so for the second quarter of fiscal year 2023. Total amount of contracts billed since my last update last quarter is $33.9 million. $3.5 million of these contracts are under the old Maybe subcontractor participation program, and $30.3 million are under the business inclusion program contracts. Subcontractor participation is as follows. Under the old Maybe program, 800,000 was paid to WBEs for a total of 22.9%. For our contracts under the business inclusion program, 6.4% were paid to MBEs, 1.4% to WBEs, 2.3% to SBEs, 1.8% to EBEs, 0% to DVBEs, and 3.0% to OBEs of a total of 11.8% and $3.5 million. For our contracts expiring within the next 9 months, we do have 12 contracts under our clean water program. All of these contracts will be renewed. The first 9 contracts on our list are expiring April 7th, 2023. These are our 9 on-call contracts for LA Sanitation's on-call automation and technology projects, and they will be renewed to extend the contract to complete our planned projects already in progress. Staff is preparing a board report for board approval, and this is to execute a 1-year renewal option that's already contained in the contract. The next 2 contracts are with Denali Water Solutions expiring August 2023, and Nursery Products LLC also expiring August 2023. Both of these contracts are to provide our hauling, transporting, and beneficial use of our city's biosolids at our Hyperion treatment plant. There is a 3-year renewal option contained in these contracts, and staff will be preparing a board report to go before the board for this renewal as well. And the last contract on the list is for Geoenvironment Technologies. This contract expires September 27th, 2023. This is our contract for our specialized expert assistance in developing the Terminal Island Renewable Energy Project. Staff is preparing also a board report for this to prepare amendment number 5 to extend their services for another 5 years. The second part of my update is our policy 793, which is LA Sands task order solicitation update. For this update, our first set of contracts are the 9 on-call contracts for LA Sanitation's automation and technology projects. For these on-call contracts, 19 task orders have been issued, 11 have been awarded for a total contract amount of $24.6 million and total expenditures of $17.1 million. Participation for subconsultants are as follows: 31% to MBEs, 13.6% to WBEs, 4.1% to SBEs, 0.2% to EBEs, 0.0% to DVBEs, and 2.5% to OBEs, again, with the total expenditures of $17.1 million.
The next update I will be giving is the tosses for our 24 on-call consultants for technical and consulting services over LA Sanitation's projects. These are our 24 on-call contracts that expire on July 2024. We have issued a new RFQ for these services to establish a new on-call list. The total contract amount for these on-call contracts is $292.3 million. Paid to date is $172 million, or 60% have been invoiced to date. For tosses that are under 150,000 under these contracts, total contracts awarded are $5.6 million. And for tosses that are issued greater than 150,000, we have issued contracts totaling $286.6 million. Subcontractor participation on these on-call contracts is 20.9% for MBEs, 5.8% for WBEs, 18.2% for SBEs, 11.2% for EBEs, 0.7% for DVBEs, and 20% for OBEs. The quarterly report before you also addresses subcontractor deviations concerns. And there are 26 contracts that fall into this category for this quarter. A majority of the contracts is through the on-call contracts that I just mentioned. For the most part, we do anticipate that subcontractors will be utilized toward the later phases of the projects. Therefore, we do anticipate that these participation levels will increase. And again, some of those tosses have been closed and subcontractor participations were not met, but we have noted those on the report. And that concludes my report for this quarter.
Thank you, Ms. Lanton, for that. Any questions, colleagues? Seeing none. Thank you, ma'am. Have a good rest of the day and start your weekend on this. So thank you so much. And thank you for being so patient.
Thanks. Have a good weekend too.
Dr. Campos, have we cleared today's desk?
Yes, you have.
Great. Thank you very much, everyone. I know we had a very long meeting today, but a very special recognition in the morning. It is 1:30. I just want to remind everybody that next Friday, we start at 1 p.m. Special time, 1 p.m. next Friday. But Wednesday, we're back at 10 a.m. And with that said, it is 1:31 and this meeting's officially adjourned. Colleagues, our management meeting has been canceled for today. Yeah, it's